Welcome to Hardly Initiated live here tonight on Wednesday. It is going down. Your host, Tyshawn Jackson, and my co-host, Ryan Ketchens.
This is the thing. This is the fourth live episode. I know we getting better. We're only 11 minutes late this time, so we ready to pop it off.
Yes, guys. We have historically been a lot later than 11 minutes, but we are getting it here together. It's not our fault. It's the beautiful lady's fault that's going to be here on the show.
Just put it on us like that.
I definitely just put it on here, but wait, take the camera off me. Put the camera on these ladies.
Check out the aesthetic. Check out the aesthetic.
Okay. You know,
The table has been decorated.
we did our best.
Yes.
We did a flick of the wrist.
Yes.
Little razzle dazzle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're here.
This is what people like. People like beauty.
Yes.
Just the thing, most of the time they come from me and Tyshawn, honestly.
Yeah.
I believe
So-
that. I said that when I walked in here. I was like, wow, okay, I see you showered today or whatever.
We got to give them something different today, though.
But look, what a better show to have these ladies. For those of you who tuned in last week, you know we had What Men Want versus What Women Want Part 1. We had two very well-spoken married brothers on the platform here today, and we're going to switch it up. We've been having too much married folks here today, okay? It's ladies' night tonight, okay? And we brought something a little bit different for you guys because here on the platform, we have two very beautiful young lady. Here's an actress. She's like floating around. What you floating around? Like Netflix, HBO Max? What you doing? A little bit of Amazon Prime. Like that's where they watching you at now. The host of the Non-Negotiable Pod. I know you've seen this wonderful presence here. We rocking with Sarah Fontenot. Welcome to the show.
I'm so
What
grateful
up?
to be here. What's up? Y'all gassing me up, Red.
Yes. She's blushing. You see that?
I'm ready.
Listen, I gotta know how to make them blush.
skills.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to make them
see what's
blush. Okay? And then right here next to her, we have the Australian beauty.
Yeah.
Gonna be lacing y'all with a little bit of accent tonight. Another actress, entrepreneur, and beauty influencer here
Yes.
with us tonight. Welcome, Imani Ali.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yes.
Now, listen, I'm going to drop both of these young ladies' Instagram profiles in the chat, so make sure y'all follow them, and make sure you also subscribe to our YouTube channel right now.
Yes, y'all, because
We're hitting milestones. We're hitting milestones, big ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. While we getting warmed up, y'all, drop in the chat. Let us know where you guys are located and where you're from as we get this thing popped off and rocked off here tonight. But what I want to do to get us started here, ladies, okay, before we get into the main topic, I want to get you guys' perspective.
Oh, I love that.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, I want to get you guys' perspective. Because what's happening here is there's a video that was actually brought to us. It's floating around the internet. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it's kind of wild, y'all.
What is it?
It's a little toxic, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little toxic. But I want to hear your opinion because I think this is something that can happen in a relationship.
Okay.
Before I give you guys too much detail, I want Delano here to play the clip here for us so we can actually get a preview of what's happened. Before we walk into it, I'm sorry. I'm getting everybody excited.
I'm excited.
This is a video for context. A man is approaching his wife, a husband is approaching his wife about having his sickly grandma move into the house.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
Let's play it, guys. Mute it out.
I want to show my family this. This is crazy.
Show your family?
Yeah, you trying to make it seem like my grandma can't stay here, but we got a whole loft that she can stay in.
We
Our
already
kids
talked
can
about
stay.
this. Your grandmother is not staying here.
She
We
is
do not
staying.
have enough room.
Take that stuff out of the loft. All the extra boxes we got that can go into the garage
That's
somewhere.
storage. And it's gonna stay storage.
No, I get her bed and put her bed there. She's good. All she needs is a little bit of time. So wherever you get some time.
A little bit of time, or is she gonna be staying?
She's gonna be staying. My grandmom is staying.
No, she's not staying.
She's staying. Yes, she is. She's staying
here.
Hey, look.
We don't have enough room.
But this is my family here, okay? So I'm gonna
Your family.
get
So
that clear.
you need to take care of your family. She needs to be staying in
And
a
you
nursing
need to take
home.
care of
Everybody got
our
time for
family.
that?
My family
Yes,
is
I do
your.
take care of our family.
Okay, no, you take care of me and family, the kids. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I
but
do.
Our grandma needs to stay here too. All you need. Cause listen,
Matt,
This is what my mom told me. All she need to do, this is her routine. All she need to do is wake up in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, fix her
I don't
breakfast.
care about your grandmother's schedule. You need to put
I'm gonna tell you her schedule because when I go to work, you taking care of her. Listen, at 8 o'clock
How
in
you
the morning.
gonna tell me what I'm gonna do when you go to work? Like I don't have no job. Like I don't have no life. Like, no, I'm not doing that. She's not staying here. That room is staying storage.
Can you hear me say now?
I'm not gonna hear what
I'm not
is
putting
that
her in no home.
If you cared about your grandmother like
I'm not about to
you say
put her in
you
no
do,
home.
you gonna put her in a certified home.
I don't got listen.
No, nobody got time for that.
I got.
Put her in a
You going what?
certified home, like put her in a home.
Yes,
She just went
did
crazy
say
on that one. Yeah, she did.
That was actually.
There's a lot to unpack.
There's a
Yeah.
lot
Oh,
to unpack there. Okay,
Yeah.
so I want to actually start by just getting you ladies' feedback.
Initial thoughts for sure.
Initial thoughts. So, should a woman be open to her husband or taking in? Should you be open to taking in your family members or your husband's sickly family members in general? What's your thoughts?
I personally believe in that. Like you're talking to, for me, I want a compound. You know, I want my parents to be down the compound. I'm driving to them on a golf cart. I want to walk the land in the morning with my mom and my dad. You know what I mean? I want my husband and my father to be the best of friends. I want my sister to be like, I believe in family being together, and there's actually nothing more important to me than family. So I'm a little more biased, but. Well, I'll get to my initial thoughts after Amani answers.
Okay. Amani,
Okay.
what's your thoughts?
I think when you marry someone, you're marrying what comes with them, like their family and everything. So I feel like he should have been able to come to his wife and just said, this is the situation. It was his grandma.
Yes.
Yeah.
My grandma needs to stay with us for a while. And that should have been received with some compassion and understanding. First of all, I think she was a little too aggressive in her approach. But I think that it should absolutely be okay for the family to stay for a period of time. But that's planned out. Like, okay, what is the next steps going to be? How long? Like, I get where she was coming from, why she was upset. But it was just too much. Like, her
Yeah.
approach was just too aggressive, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think there's definitely like a power struggle throughout the relationship too, because when you
Yeah.
think about literally if a husband who is the head of household, I'm doing air quotes for those that are listening and not watching, if the husband is the head of household and this is the decision that's best for the family, if her initial response is rebuttal, like Amani said, it's aggressive, it's no, this isn't going to happen, let me put my foot down, then who's really leading the household? And I think that when you don't know who's leading, then there's a power struggle.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do anything, but I do think that there's a way to understand your partner and to communicate with your partner. And it's evident because he kind of came in, they were both aggressive with
Yeah.
one another.
I agree with that.
You know, they go ahead.
I mean, as soon as he pulled out the camera, I mean, that's when the whole situation changed. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real though, I found that to be like hella disrespect. Just like the disrespect was pretty much unreal. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I thought that's also likely indicative of their relationship
Yeah.
and really who controls the frame of that relationship. Just in my personal opinion, I think that men should lead relationships. Of course, not all men are qualified to lead relationships.
Facts.
But in this particular situation, I mean, the man sets the tone. So even to bring up the conversation while she's in a place where she looks like she's just watching some TV, kind of like she got like the hair wrap or something on. So, I mean, to even bring the conversation up in that setting should show us what kind of leadership is lacking there.
yeah.
And this is something that we even the fact that we can watch this clip is an issue.
Facts.
Yeah.
My man walked in with his cell phone out.
It's feminine.
It's very feminine.
Very
okay?
feminine.
So that's very feminine out the gate.
And just ratchet.
He literally says, we kind of missed it at the very beginning, but he literally says, she's like, why are you recording me? He says, so I can show my family.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
He's snitching.
he says
He's
that.
a snitch.
So the fact that he even has to put himself in a position to run back and tattletale
Yeah.
on his wife already lets you know what's going on in here. Because it's really easy to look at that woman and straight up demonize her.
Yeah.
But based on what you see in this video, but when you have people working out of position in relationships, when you have a woman playing in that masculine role for so long, because I can imagine this just doesn't, that kind of conversation just doesn't happen on day one. It's a
Yeah.
build up, something nice and toxic for a long time before people start talking to each other like that
Yeah.
Yeah.
and walking in feeling like they got to have a hidden cam
Yeah.
Oh, the
on your
disrespect was
private
real. Yeah.
relationships.
They don't respect one another. from my vantage point. If it can get to this point, because I think that inside of relationships, people get it twisted because they think that, when the good is good, oh my God, I love this person. Well, how is it when it's bad? If your form of communication is completely just polarizing, is completely going to set you apart and not bring you together, you might want to rethink who your partner is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you say that, when you say you might want to rethink who your partner is, when you consider like a healthy communication style with your partner, matter of fact, kind of play it out for me. How should this conversation have went down?
Who's leading it, the man or the woman? Or in that sense?
The guy. Let's play it out. The guy walks into the room. How should this conversation play out a bit?
I think number one, if you know your person, you probably already know, like there's probably feuds with the family, right? That's why he's recording, so he can go show his family and be like, look, she's the big bad wolf, it's not me. So there's already a feud there. But let's pretend like that wasn't the case. If a man knows his person and he knows that she could get aggressive, then coming in aggressive is not the answer. So it's almost like a compassion, like, babe, my grandmother is really sick. And until we can find, a home or we can figure out whatever, I think that it would be a great decision for us to move my grandmother here. How do you feel about that? And then she would be like, oh, well, I really don't want her to live here. I don't actually feel comfortable, whatever. But now it's led by questions rather than, and feeling and, whatever it is. And then you beat the feeling with fact. I understand you don't want her to be here. I understand that you feel the way that you feel. I understand X, Y, Z. I understand, but my grandmother is sick. I don't know how much longer she's going to be here. What if I promised you it could be this timeline before we put her in a home? What if I show you how we're going to save money or how she's like, you've got to show someone that doesn't want something the benefit and the value of actually having it. So they don't value each other enough, in my opinion. And I'm not a professional. This is just a random woman watching people argue on the internet, I don't know. But I feel like, if that were the case, like you come with compassion and understanding and knowing that they both didn't care what the other person had to say. That's the issue.
Yeah.
He didn't care about her response, how she felt about it. It was like, this is what's happening. And she's like, no, this is what's happening. Well, what if you both just wanted what's best to happen? They didn't go at it that way.
It's tricky. It's tricky for me because I do understand a collaborative conversation, but I just very strongly think it really, the thing is, him informing her that this is what's going to happen, I think is a conversation. I don't think the conversation is, are you okay with this?
But how do you feel is different.
How you feel is different.
Yeah.
Is different. But in this case, I mean, it just shows that this man had lack of control over his household. Because in my opinion, the man does control the dynamic and the family structure.
Yes.
Now, nobody, man or woman in that situation, really wants the extended family to have to move in. But it's the reality of the situation when you take on a new family. You got to take all the problems that go with it. Yeah. And it's funny because she's like, how long is she going to stay? But she's probably going to stay until she passed away. I mean, it's his grandma. It's his grandma. You know what I mean? So, but I think there was a lack of care, and this kind of showed me that the woman is just completely checked out at this point. So I'm not even sure why they would continue to kind of be in their relationship, because it looks very unhealthy. But again, I'm not married, so.
But I think one thing too, you really got, it's just certain conversations that you got to have before you really get into a serious relationship.
That part, yeah.
And like, I remember, shout out to Jamon. We about to get Jamon Glenn back on. Because
shout out to him.
Big shout out. He actually dropped a bar that I hope I don't miscite. But what he said is, you date vision, but you marry values.
Ooh.
That's a good one. You learning. You learning.
I'm learning this
You
stuff.
learning.
I'm not just
like
interviewing
that.
these folks for no reason
I like
now.
that.
All right? But see, that's the thing. I think, and like you said, like family is truly like a value. The prioritization of family, it's a value. Because if you really value family, you're going to put yourself in very inconvenient situations at times due to family.
Yeah.
When family is not very important to you, at times you always going to make sure you have the vantage point. And if family is convenient, then we invest in family. And I know people who have done both. We've all seen, people who may tend to neglect the family to, keep themselves in a place of comfort. And we know people who always put the family first. And I think it's very important. That's like a huge thing you got to make sure with your partner that y'all on the same page with.
Yeah.
Because if you are somebody who's going to always consider the issues of the family. Family need money. You're going to figure out how to put money in their pockets. Yeah, you got a badass cousin over there in Atlanta and something just happened. Mama just got locked up. Who taking the kids in?
Right.
You know, like it's like that weight typically falls on the person that, you know, has those values in place.
But let me ask you what you guys think, because I think I expressed my opinion pretty clearly on this. But do you guys think that both parties should have equal say in this particular situation?
No, you go. I'll answer.
Imani said.
And you know what? Hold on, wait. Let me put this right here. She got that nice soft voice.
Look, let us know. Y'all let us know live if you can hear the ladies pretty good. Let us know how that volume is. We're getting right at this thing. Imani, what's up?
Well, I agree with your standpoint that the man should lead the household. So I do feel like in that situation, he should come to her and say, this is what's going on with my grandma. And then he should take leadership of that situation. And, you know, being a wife, I think she should be like, okay, let me hear what he has to say. Even if she doesn't agree, she should still take his leadership on the situation. That's just my take, though.
I think so too. The thing is, I do want guys to understand that the leadership just doesn't start at the incident. The thing is, the leadership starts well before that. So I mean, clearly, this dude, if you're taking care of your grandma, you should know she been getting old. She just didn't just so happen to start getting old, or just so happen to now all of a sudden need help with finances. So the fact that this guy wasn't communicating, it seems like so, he wasn't communicating along the way, gives you a clear indication that the leadership was lacking. So guys, if you are going to be responsible for not only your immediate family, but also your extended family, it's very important that you set the guidelines at the beginning of the relationship. And as things progress and as things change, which they do, you then provide updates and the possibilities of something like this happening. Because this seems to be pretty much the straw that brought the camel's back in terms of him bringing it up. It's like at this point she has to move in, and this is the disagreement that we're having. So I think it's a lot of things that show that, you know, this person pretty much could have showcased leadership a lot early in the situation.
Yeah. And I think it makes a woman respect you more.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can speak from experience. Like I date a certain type of man for a reason, because when I have ventured off of what I'm used to, I don't trust a man that doesn't have boundaries. And not to say that I need a man to put me in my place, but I want to recklessly trust and respect you. And if you're wavering, I can't trust you. If you're looking for outward validation, I can't trust you. If you're looking to go show your family that I'm the big bad wolf, I don't trust you.
Right.
You know, so if it may not feel good, and I've actually had this conversation before where it's like, look, like if the answer is no, then tell me no and say it from your chest. You know what I'm like, mean it, like really mean it. And I think that a lot of the times what people do is, or what men do is, they don't want to hurt feelings. They don't want to make you upset. They don't want to whatever. Well, that's what leadership is. Leadership does not mean perfection. Sometimes leadership comes with some heat. And I may be cussing you out in my mind out of respect. I would never speak it from my mouth. But in my mind, it really makes me be like, oh, okay, my man knows where he's going. I trust your lead. I'll follow you anywhere. You know, and I feel like that's something that's actually lacking a lot in society today.
That's a fact. It's a lot of weak men right now. A lot of weak men in America. Now, listen, guys, I just dropped a poll. The poll is, was the wife's response justified? So let us get 20. All I'm asking for 20 votes on that poll, because I really want to get an idea of what the audience thinks about this. And another thing, guys, the YouTube membership is just going crazy. We finished off last week with 20 members after only 3 episodes, which is dope. And already within the first 20 minutes, shout out to Samari Milwaukee, who has just joined the YouTube membership.
Welcome to the family.
Samari, what's up? So Samari actually says that's why in certain cultures, the family has to agree to the marriage. You're inviting someone into your family. If they don't value that structure and what comes with it, discourse is inevitable. Samari, that was very eloquent. I like that. Shout out to Samari.
That was. And listen, this is like such a perfect segue. I loved how you talked about the man, the only man that you can bring into your life to avoid certain things.
Yeah.
And that's what we're gonna be talking about today, y'all. Because we about to be seeing who these men's is. Okay, that the ladies are gonna be deeming qualified for them to bring into their sphere. Okay, and the funny thing is, we was like, man, I hope this icebreaker is relevant.
Yeah.
But just based on what you guys have been saying here, both of your feedback, it's hyper relevant. And again, for the people who missed it, y'all better check out last week's as well. What Men Want versus What Women Want Part 2. We have Part 1 with the absolute lovely Sarah and Imani here. And just for the people so they can understand the profile here, you two are both very beautiful single ladies here. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the thing. We got the chat is going crazy. We're gonna have to Imani, we have to move her mic to the side a little bit. They gotta get the full profile.
Okay, here we go.
She is single, guys. For guys, she is single. Make sure you follow her. Make sure you follow her on Instagram right now. Sarah, also single. Make sure y'all follow her. But yeah,
Yes.
the ladies want to see. The ladies really want to know because
You're
that's
going to have to
always
drop the
a big
Instagrams
concern.
this show because
Right.
you're going to have to be dropping Instagrams.
That's always a big concern because the ladies really want to know dating profile. So both of you guys single. Now is it single just for the time being? Are you looking? What's the situation?
I mean, they always looking, bro.
We're not gonna go too deep. We're just trying to get a general idea of the package.
I'm
That's
dating.
all. Okay, cool. Actively dating. Interesting.
Okay.
Imani?
Me, I guess I'll be in the right place at the right time to meet the right person. I'm not actively, dating or like trying to find someone. I think it's an alignment thing. Like when my person is ready to find me, they'll find me. And in the meantime, I'm just working on myself.
Oh, listen, that's that manifestation thing.
That means
right?
dating when I hear that, guys. Just so you know. That means dating. You just got to be qualified for her to date you.
Listen,
that's
ladies,
what that is.
listen, y'all better stop waiting and talk about manifest and go out there and find you a man. Put in some work. Put in some footwork. Find you a man if you want one.
Did I
Oh
say
man!
manifest?
Before we get into all the wonderful things that the audience is gonna see about you, okay? I want to kind of have some fun because I think we saw like a toxic trait from this young lady that we all was very inevitable, right?
Yeah.
What's you guys' toxic trait? Oh. You could be working on it, you know.
Oh, I feel like I'm very self-aware. I know.
Come on now.
I love to play.
Play
Why
what?
is that? Why is that toxic?
I think my toxic trait is really only toxic for a weak man. I will test a boundary. And not in a way of disrespect, because I don't believe in that, but I want to see who I'm dealing with.
That's a good answer.
So for a weak man, and let me not say for a man that has weakness inside of boundaries, let me correct that, that probably feels very toxic to him. Whereas to a strong man, it's like, nope, okay. And then I melt. I feel safe because I'm like, oh, I know that you can hold for me. I know that you have capacity.
Let me tell you, it's so incredible that you acknowledge that because, most women don't even realize when they're testing.
They just kind of do it subconsciously.
It's this subconscious thing that just happens, especially when they feel weakness. The test can be you get way more tests.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you this, since you're so self-aware.
Yeah.
Give me an example. What does a test look like? How would you test a man? What does it look like?
That's such a great question.
Yes, it is.
How would I test a man?
So I'm gonna give you a good example. I'm gonna walk you into this
Okay.
one. I just spoke to my buddy the other day, and he told me how he just bombed this date.
Oh.
And I'm like, what do you mean? Because we kind of actually set the date up for him. We kind of coordinated this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm following up on him. I'm like, yeah, what happened? He's like, nah, it didn't really go well. I'm like, what happened? He said, I made some mistakes. I said, what happened? He was like, yeah, she was testing me the whole time, and I just failed the test.
Yeah.
He acknowledged that he failed him. I said, so give me an example. What was the test? He said, so first of all, I had set the time and the place of where we was going to be. 30 minutes before, she calls me, and she says, I want to go to this other spot. See, now that's a test. A lot of people don't realize it. That already
That's an initial test.
is an initial test. And what did he do? Okay. Could you send me the address? Yeah, we'll go there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no. My spot's lame.
Yeah.
My spot's terrible. We'll go to your spot. So he already goes to the other spot, and he literally said from there, man, until he said it felt like I lost control of the night.
Oh.
He said, I just lost my rhythm. Like things just didn't flow as well. She kind of kept taking the lead on different things. Hey, we should eat this. We should do this. We should do this. And he just felt like he just completely lost control of the situation.
That's like
and ultimately lost respect.
That's like being at Six Flags. You got a kid with you, and the kid just dragging you around every roller coaster. Stuff you don't even want to ride on. And spending all your money, eating all the food, doing everything.
Yep.
And at the end, you just exhausted. And
watch
the
this.
kid don't even
When you
appreciate
try
it.
to stand on yourself and you tell the kid no, they throw a tantrum.
Yeah. Because and the tantrum is not because you said no. It's because this is unfamiliar.
Yes.
This is you being inconsistent. That's what a tantrum comes in at.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a nice little side tip for the guys. Listen, first dates, really all the dates you should go on. The way that you can maintain control is to decide where the date is, a place that you're familiar with, right? Because the thing is, the girl is not on a date with you, so she can do what she wants to do. She's on the date so she can experience how you operate. And the thing is, if you go on and doing the things that she wants to do already, and you don't know her, then it already establishes a level of distrust and discomfort. So that's just very important.
That's a great answer, though.
That's
by the
game.
way.
Y'all might not even own that.
That's a really great. It's kind of light. Like, you know, you ask somebody in the interview, what's your weakness? They say, I work too hard. You know, it was kind of one of those.
I just love
It's the
so
truth.
much.
Yeah, I just do too much overtime.
It's the truth. I seek out weakness because I want to know if you can hold for me. That's it. I do, and that's the truth.
I like that. I like that. Imani, what you gonna do? You gonna play
My
it off?
toxic trait?
Yeah.
What I've been told, I'm just very nonchalant, and I think that can be taken as toxicity, where I just don't care enough. And if somebody's really passionate about you, that's gonna drive them crazy.
So you typically have the guys more interested than you are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that-
Wait.
is that a
What's I
toxic
missed that.
trait?
Say that again.
That actually is. I think that's in 48 Laws of Power. They talk about the person
that.
in the relationship that has the least interest has all the power in the relationship. So you typically, you know, the scale is usually tipped to your end of things with that. Why is it though? Is it because, I mean, why are you not like kind of, these guys don't have you going crazy? Is it because something they're missing, or you just really slow to really grow your emotions?
I'm slow to grow my emotions for sure. Like, it takes me a while to just really say, oh yeah, like I'm feeling this person, or I love that person. Like, that takes time to build. And I think we're in a generation where people just rush too quick. Like, they want everything right now. They want you to sleep with them right now. They want to, you know, tell you that I love you right now. I just met you. Like, give me a chance to see the many layers, see everything that comes with you, and vice versa. Like, I just like to take my time, and that can tip people over the edge sometimes, I think, because they want me to be that for them, and I'm gonna take my time.
What you doing to drive these men crazy?
Very
like this?
interesting. Yeah.
We're gonna have to figure this out a little bit later. We're gonna
No
have to figure this
losers.
out.
No losers.
No losers. No, wait, for neither one of these young ladies, no losers.
Check this out. So this is good because we're only 27 minutes in, and we growing. We almost to 300, halfway to 300. So I need y'all to share this.
Yes,
We had a
yes,
live
yes.
156 people watching live, which is excellent. And we got some crazy comments going on in here. Shout out to Janelle. Janelle is just so active in the comments. Janelle, no, not for my wife. Not all dates. Just the first few. Just the first couple, Janelle.
She just always trying to.
Always trying to start some stuff
She
in there.
always trying to start something in there.
Interesting. So this is a good question. I want to take this one real quick. This one for Sarah specifically. Janelle says, Sarah, when you find these weaknesses, what do you do next?
I leave.
Instantly.
No, initially what I do is it'll be, now I know there's a weakness here, and I want to know, is this a character trait or is this a right now? Because there is a difference. And I do feel like one thing for me is I'm very communicative, and I want to talk about things that don't make sense to me because I need it to make sense in order for me to feel safe. That's just how it is for me personally. So when I communicate it, and then I'll give you another test, the same test. If you fail that test again, I'm like, and then I'll try again. Like, okay, let's try this test again. And then if you fail it, I don't trust you. If I don't trust you, I don't respect you. If I don't respect you, I can't be in a relationship, so I will leave.
I've never heard a woman speak this candidly about it.
I'm sorry.
Usually they
Pretty
play
logical.
around.
Pretty logical
This
thinking,
is
yeah.
Sarah, this is gonna be a
Very
great
logical.
show.
I'm sorry.
He was just
Damn
too
it.
nice.
I'm
He was
sorry.
just too nice. That's what they usually say.
Yes, that's exactly what
Yeah.
they say.
But this is basically you talking about a guy who really doesn't have any boundaries, a guy who will change how he operates based on how you feel about him.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a guy you cannot trust. You
Mr.
cannot
Nice
trust
Guy.
this
Don't
guy.
trust him.
Very
As a
nice
matter
guy.
of fact, we actually had a brother on here. Shout out to KD Bo. He was on our previous show. We didn't get to go into this, but he actually stated off camera that was the way reason his first marriage ended. He said he was a pushover. He was too nice, and he would compromise regularly the things that he felt like he should stand for. And eventually, while you think you're just making somebody happy and you think you're doing the right thing,
don't
you're
respect
really, the person on the opposite end of you is losing respect the entire time.
Yes.
Wow. And let me tell you, the test gets so much worse.
They
Yeah,
do. They do.
The test get, like, I can imagine, and let me tell you, you could speak too, Sarah. So I don't even want to know what it sounds like when Sarah is
Unhappy.
losing respect. She
Yeah.
just starts eating,
Going in.
she'll eat a man's ass up. I
I'm
see
not
it.
disrespectful, but I will test. I want to see. I also want to see how you do with me, because I do think that, you know, I am well spoken and I am this effective communicator and I am all of these things, but also I'm a human being. And so can you handle me when I'm not Instagram Sarah? You know, like if I have a bad day, or can I, you know, I'm positive 95% of the time, but the last few months I've been dealing with my dad fighting his second battle with cancer. I have not been as positive as normal, which is, can you even understand that? Can you relate to that? Can you respect that? Can you love that part of me too? Because some people, that's another thing, goes back to what Amani was saying. People want it easy and they want it fast. Only
Easy
thing
and fast.
easy and fast that and it kills you, right? It's like fast food.
McDonald's.
Okay, it's easy and fast,
Yeah.
but it'll kill you. I don't need anything easy or fast. Show me.
Damn,
Yo, listen.
hard and slow, she likes it.
I thought that was what the situation was. I thought that was the situation. So, guys, look, just a few announcements. Every Monday and Wednesday, we are having these lives at 8 p.m. So make sure you join at 8 p.m. sharp. And new YouTube members, like I said, we hit over 21. This is the thing, guys. We want to get 100 new members in the next 30 days. So please share this live with a friend ASAP. And this thing, I still haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it on this Wednesday. I am going to drop a special link for our members only to get a call for 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes with both myself and Tyshawn.
Yes.
And this is only because we want to get to know you better. And I want to say something real quick. Sarah talked about she wants to know if a man can handle her, because they try me up in the comments. Lakia, listen, I'm not comparing women to kids, but you just heard her say she want to see if a man can handle her. So
Right.
you it's up to you to decide.
So just so y'all know, y'all, this is going to be a phenomenal show. Me and Ryan came up with this very, very intentionally, inspired to us by one of our favorite books. I wish it was still here. Okay, but listen, you got to understand, men and women have different needs.
Yes.
The book that we were inspired by, His Needs, Her Needs, it was actually a book that breaks down the emotional needs, the top 10 emotional needs of all people. And the crazy thing is, the top 5 emotional needs for men are the bottom 5 for women.
I believe that.
The top and women's top 5 are the bottom for men.
Makes so much
Yeah.
sense.
So
Reciprocal relationship for sure.
absolutely. That's really incredible when you consider that. And what I want to start by is I want you ladies to tell me your top 3 needs, just 3,
Yeah.
as it relates to being in a relationship with a man.
I know mine. Do you know yours?
Top 3.
Yes.
Top 3. We'll let y'all. I mean, you need to think about it or what?
Yeah, give me a second to think.
Think about it. Let's see what you got.
Safety, security, respect.
Safety and security.
Safety, security, respect.
Let me ask you, when you say security,
Yes,
give me just a little bit of detail on security, because I think security is like a big word.
it is.
So give me a little bit more detail on what kind of security you're detailing when you speak of security.
Security meaning I know what to expect from you. Can you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and energetically cover for me? And vice versa, because it's a two-way street, right? And no one is perfect, and I completely understand that as well.
Right.
But inside of security, do you know who you are, or are you out here wavering? Do you have boundaries? Like, I feel secure when it's like, you know who you are. You're not going to be uprooted because somebody said something on Instagram. You're not going to have a bad day because you didn't get invited to a barbecue. You're not going to be like, oh, I need the validation from, and more than anything, you're not counting on things to validate who you are as a person. You know you're that guy. You know, like you're the one. Like you got that essence about you.
Not the two.
You the one.
Security. Okay, I like that. I like that security. I like that. I like that.
Okay.
And I also feel like when you are that kind of person, that also does come with a level of mindset, which comes with a level of standard.
Yeah.
Do you have standards inside of your life? And again, it goes back to mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, and energetically. I work on all of those things. Do you? You know?
Oh.
So
They said Sarah heating up. She heating up.
The bar is high.
Yeah.
It is.
I like that. I like that.
No
I like
wonder
that.
my man at Best Buy had no shots. He working on that energy.
He need to own the Best Buy.
Oh, that's a side story. Don't worry about that, y'all. So wait. So just to summarize it, the top three was security,
safety, security, respect.
safety, security, and respect.
And respect is actually number one.
Respect is number one.
For me. And I know that's weird for a woman because most women want love more than they want respect. I want respect.
That is very interesting.
I know.
Okay.
I'm weird. I know.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Wow,
Now
how
to
do
you.
top that? That
No,
was
you
the most
can't.
perfect answer.
No,
She
you
No.
have a
touched
perfect
on
answer for
everything.
you. I'm excited.
Yes.
We're gonna see because we're gonna keep in mind we're gonna compare this to what the average woman's emotional
Yes.
needs are
So
too.
we actually got a list for you guys
So we-
based on the
yeah.
book here. We're gonna see what it looks like.
So Monty, hit us with it. What you got?
What you got?
So for me also respect is number one. And it goes vice versa. Like as much as I'm asking, I can give too. So I need respect in a man. I need him to be confident, to be able to be secure and comfortable in any room, confident with me being his partner. What's another one? Top three. Well,
Just one
security,
more.
security, like, and that goes for everything, like emotional security, financial security, like just physically, emotionally, spiritually. I need him to be secure on all levels. So, yeah.
Okay, so you said
So it was confidence, security, and respect.
Okay.
Confidence, security,
He
and
talked about
respect.
financial security, emotional security, and what was the other one?
It was like all the leaves.
Just all,
Oh, okay.
Physical, security, all of it. Yeah.
Emotionally,
secure
financially,
in who you are
spiritually,
as a man, spiritually,
Yeah.
Energetically.
yes.
Because I think the way you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yes.
So typically,
Listen,
No,
what,
no, no,
listen,
no,
look,
no,
look,
no,
look,
no,
what
come
you
on now.
got? You
Come on,
you
don't
dropping
hold
bars
back.
tonight, so let us know.
I was just saying, you know what though? I feel like the type of man that I desire, because I feel like there's a lot of trending words right now, right? A lot of buzzwords right now.
A lot of buzzwords.
That are actually losing their value because people that don't know what they mean say them too much. And so I say that to say that a buzzword right now is emotional intelligence, right? I want a man that's
Yes.
emotionally intelligent, and a woman that's emotionally intelligent.
Everybody says that, right?
Which is so important, but that has to be partnered with emotional regulation, because you might be emotionally intelligent enough to understand what's happening, but you have to have emotional regulation enough to understand how to respond to it. You know what I mean? And that's like a new level man, I feel like, in this day and age. Because a lot, especially when you start getting into top 1% men monetarily, when you start getting into certain things, sometimes it comes with entitlement. Sometimes it comes with emotional
egos.
ego. It doesn't come with emotional intelligence, emotional regulation, and those are really important for any foundational relationship.
I've never heard that, the emotional regulation. So let me just confirm. I understand what you're saying. Emotional intelligence. I recognize what's going on.
Yes.
Emotional regulation. I execute upon what I recognize
For what's best.
for what's
what's
best.
best.
Like your actual desire. You're not reactive, you're responsive.
I think I get that.
I think I
Need
do
more
get
men like
that.
And I think
that.
that's very true, though. Emotional intelligence is just something that's really missing. And the thing is, it's harder to, this is my personal opinion. I think it's harder than ever to be a man now and just to maintain successful relationships.
Yeah.
Now, when you think about relationships or family, the family dynamic has changed over the past, 50, 60, 100 years, right? You got the agricultural time. So this is when the extended family was very, very important, right? Your cousins, your nieces and nephews all needed to make a living, to make money, right? Then you move to industrial times, which things change a lot then. You got, now it's more about the nuclear family, right? Then you got the woman now is going out to work. You got the guy working, everybody comes home, just the parents and the children. But now this is the thing, it's a completely different time. It's the artificial intelligence age. It's the technological age.
Yeah.
This means that really financially, men don't need women. Women don't need men. You got these families working apart, remote. So now it's every man for himself. So being that that's the case, a man has to bring a lot more to the table, so to speak, than just money. So that means that those other things like emotional intelligence, for example, are priority.
Because
paramount.
many of us grew up in households, if your father was present, you saw him, he probably wasn't, the most lively, talkative person, super in tune with the kids and being a great guy at work and personally developing and in the gym and reading books.
Right.
Like a lot of us didn't really grow up seeing fathers like that. Manhood and what was expected of a man was he's good, he takes care of his family, he works every day. Like it was a very simple criteria.
Yeah.
And I think, like now.
And finances were so important. I mean, this is the thing. I know everybody goes, oh, well, women couldn't work and women didn't have rights. I understand that. But finances, because this thing, if women could not leave these relationships because they literally could not live without men. So this was an advantage for men, for sure, or just maintaining and keeping families together. So now it's just like that finances are no longer a part of that picture. It's like all hell has broken loose in relationships. Like everybody is single, nobody wants to have babies, it's all kind of stuff. But that's just because it's things that are deeper that we must now attain to really have these successful relationships.
Yeah, it's like skill sets now that we're still slow to develop. We're like in this place where we don't necessarily have those yet because we really didn't see them. But now this is what we kind of need now, or especially women, what women need from us. Because I think men are fairly simple. I don't think men's needs have evolved much as it's related. It's pretty much the same. The women have drastically evolved what they want and expect. And
well, I think it's always been the same thing. It's just that at some point, I am 100% sure financial support and family commitment was probably number one and two.
And let's
but now
talk
those
about
things
that.
have changed.
Let's talk about that because the ladies gave us their top three. First of all, Ryan, because I don't know if we went over this a whole lot. We focused a lot on the men, on the top 5 needs for men.
Yeah.
So break down what they have here as the top 5 emotional needs for women. I want to hear you
Can we
ladies
get a little drum roll?
A little drum roll on that thing now. A little drum roll on that
so
thing.
ladies, gentlemen, these are the top 5 emotional needs for women based on years and tons of survey research from actual women. So this is the average woman. Number 1, affection. All right. Number 2, conversation. I know that. I mean, I 100% agree with that. Number 3, honesty and openness. Number 4, which I'm surprised is coming in this low, financial support. And number 5, family commitment. Very curious. Very curious to know, to learn what you ladies actually think about this list. Accurate, not accurate, maybe, maybe not. And audience, I'm actually going to drop a poll. I want y'all to let me know, is this list women's needs, affection, conversation, honesty and openness, financial support, and family commitment, is that accurate for you ladies? Ladies only, is that accurate? I'm going to drop that poll right now.
Not all at once.
It's not. It's accurate for somebody.
Interesting.
It ain't accurate for me. And I say that because you just got to learn yourself. I think self-awareness is the superpower in life, right? When you learn your likes, your dislikes, your needs and your wants, because we can survive without our wants, but it's really hard to have a successful relationship without your needs being met. So if a woman wants affection or, the hug or the kiss or the rub on the leg, I love those things, but those aren't more important to me than security or safety or respect.
Right.
Like if my man were to hug me every day, kiss me before I go out in the world, and when we sit and we watch movies and he rubs my legs, that's great. But if you call me out of my name, that's all null and void. That's disrespectful to me. If you put me in situations where I'm unsafe, it's all null and void. It wouldn't work for me.
Now, see, this is the thing, because the ladies so far seem to agree with you. We got K-Ann chiming in. K-Ann, come on, K. Join the YouTube membership. We love you, okay? Now, she says number 1 is definitely not affection. So I'm thinking about what you're saying, because I'm like, this thing, they did this study. Thousands of women say this is true. So let's look up the definition of affection.
But
Let's
also,
see it.
I
Let's
want
see
to know
it.
what is the ethnicity of the people that they surveyed?
Ooh.
Because that makes a difference.
Great question. We're going to find that out.
What is the
But
ethnicity?
affection is a gentle feeling of fondness or liking. Now, this is the thing.
What's the affection in there? But they gave a
not
nice little
Okay,
summary on the actual document.
Let's get what her husbands tell her that he loves her with words, flowers, cards. Those are common courtesies. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems like some lovey-dovey type of situation.
lovey-dovey stuff?
I'm just gonna go off what the dictionary Google search says. It says a gentle feeling of liking. Now, this is the thing. I honestly feel like that's like the most best thing you can do for a woman is actually be genuinely interested and show her that you like her. I mean, do you really think, even with that definition, that that's not number one?
No,
a man
It's
showing,
not
wow.
number one.
No.
Wow. Liking,
very
liking
interesting.
these women is not enough. Crazy.
It's important, but it's not the most important.
Right.
So
You know?
interestingly enough, when it comes to every woman I've ever dated, I feel like every 2 or 3 days you got to remind her how you feel about her. Every 2 or 3 days, and for some women it might be 1 to 2. It's definitely not more than 2 to 3. So I know that affection piece, that the level, the affirming that you have to consistently do to a woman to let it's like it's like gasoline in a vehicle.
But is it
like
in
it's like
words?
running off that?
In deeds or in actions?
It's a little, I think affection can be all those things though. Affection is all of those things.
Okay.
I don't think you can isolate affection. I don't think it's healthy if you isolate affection in just words or just touch. Or you can, and I think for some people, some are more important than others. But I think it's all of those things. Y'all ladies really trying to dump on affection a little bit. Let them get a man that's not giving them that affection. It's gonna be problems.
No, I think affection naturally comes when your top needs are actually hit. Like, I'm sure you guys know about like women that you've been with, probably intimate with, and if you're in a relationship with a woman, you get way more out of her physically in that kind of sexual energy when her needs are met. And whatever those needs are for her. Affection is almost a byproduct of needs. It's not the number one need, in my opinion. What do you
Okay.
think?
No, I agree with you. It just naturally comes out when your man is doing all those things that are special to you. He's ticking all those boxes. Naturally, that feminine energy is just gonna come out. It's gonna exude even more. I'm gonna be even more affectionate because you're taking care of the things that's most important to
Yes.
me.
But this is not affection from you, it's affection from him. So like, here's what I mean by that. So like, because I find myself having to be intentional about affection. Now I'm like actually like, I don't mind being physical. I love touching. I love rubbing. I love kissing. Those things come easy to me. Other stuff don't. I have to be very intentional about reminding you, about complimenting you regularly, being romantic. I have to be like that. Romance is not at the top. I got 50 things above buying flowers in my mind. So like affection is not something that just I don't think it naturally just pours and oozes out of a man. Like it's intention to be like to actually provide and give a woman affection.
You do.
On my end.
Yeah.
So like that, I think, and if you look at like women, if you talk to women who've been in these like long relationships, I feel like that's what they talk about. They lack a lot.
Yeah.
Like
It's
their
like,
relationships lack this intimacy and
to go.
affection from men. They really long for that in many ways, which is also why the book details very well. And any one of those needs, by the way, it talks about how any one of those needs neglected long enough, typically, inevitably, every single time leads to cheating.
Oh, for
every
sure.
single time.
But look, this wasn't the only one. Now, this wasn't the only one because I want to talk about number 2 because I'll be honest, I'm really good at number 2.
What is number 2 again?
Conversation.
Oh, I got
I mean, we stimulating right now.
Yeah.
Some stimulation going live audience for real.
Yeah, it
but
is.
is that accurate? I mean, is conversation, intellectual stimulation, is that pretty high on you guys' list?
For me, yeah.
Okay, Iman, let's hear about it.
Pretty
Just
high, yeah.
so like, okay, so conversation, because I think the guys need some help with this one. So what does a stimulating conversation sound like? Like what is the topic? Like what kind of depth are you getting? What are you talking about when you're having a stimulating conversation?
Just, I don't know, for me personally, I just love a man that has so much knowledge to share. Like he's well read, he's well versed. He just pretty much is an expert of anything. Like that's my favorite type of man. Like he could just talk, because I don't talk that much. So I like to listen. I like to go back and forth, off of what he's saying. I want to learn. I want my man to be teaching me something. Like, yeah, that'd definitely be in my top 5. Like a good conversationalist for sure.
I like see women do like expertise.
Yes.
And women like expertise when you see like, you know, the really, really short dude who's like #1 chess player or something, he could have like a fucked up grill or like be really small and like ugly or something. But if he's like the best, he's got like the baddest chick on his arm. You know what I mean? So expertise is like really
another
important.
one I recently seen, like, you know, like a really good example of like the masculine feminine dynamic at its best is like when a woman goes to like the mechanic or something. Like she goes into a situation, she knows nothing about this vehicle. She barely knows how to drive the shit, right? Now she walks into this place and now this guy knows everything about what's going on. And like you said, this could be a little small brother, not know much, but he's gaming her up, educating her on how this is going. And I could even just see the woman just kind of bouncing in delight while he's like teaching her and putting her on game. And see, you got to do this. No. You put it on neutral. No, don't put that shit in neutral. You can't do that. Yes. And that makes a lot of sense. So you're typically attracted to intelligent guys and so on and so forth.
I am.
I like that. That makes sense.
I can see that.
She said she likes to not say too much and listen. Ladies, take notes.
I can see that in Amani.
Take notes.
I can see that.
That's important.
I like to listen.
Say what you gotta say. Listen, say it first off. The ladies already like what the game Sarah is dropping. So I don't know if we should be upset about that or what. Should we? What you think, Sarah? She really dropping some game right now?
Honestly, you're winning over the crowd right now.
Yeah,
you're winning over the crowd right now.
And shout out to Kate. Listen, Kate. Shout out to Kate and took action.
Damn.
She said, Ron, I ain't gonna let you mess with me no more. I'm gonna go ahead and get down with y'all.
Welcome to the family.
Shout out to KN. Oh, and then listen, we got the
fam.
See, we got the true initiates in the chat now. Shout out to Clarity Speaks and Jay and Candace and Janelle. They rock with us.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Intellectually stimulating conversation. What's your thoughts on that there?
One day, and I hope no one steals this idea, one day I'm going to write a book called Girl Shut Up. And the reason why I'm going to write this book is because men don't want to have big, long conversations about the moon and the stars and aliens and God. Well, probably God. I take that back, God. But the frivolous conversations, get you some girlfriends that you can talk about the moon and the stars and all of those things. And you can be all of your feminine and whatever it may be. So you can get it out. So by the time you get to your man, you can talk with him about the things that you guys actually feel similarly about. I feel like a lot of men, they don't want to talk about stuff outside of what they want to talk about.
Wow. Okay. So do you find it difficult when you're dating? Do you find it difficult to have a good conversation?
Oh, no. I'm not saying I don't enjoy conversation, and I definitely have conversation. I'm just saying the conversation is what we are both passionate about. But when it comes to hiking, or when it comes to, love, or when it comes to family even, or when it comes to, like, there are certain things that goes in what am I going to wear to this event, or how am I going to style my hair, or what nail color should I do? What were you talking about in those skits the other day? Hey, did you see that? There's certain things a man doesn't really want to talk about.
Yes.
At all. And I feel like a lot of women do themselves a disservice by trying to talk to their man like he's their girlfriends. So I would say, get you some girlfriends that you can have girlfriend talk with and girlfriend time with. And when you're with your man, have those conversations, because number one, I believe in my experiences, he's just more interested in having conversations with you because he actually enjoys having them.
I get that.
Based on your personality, something tells me you had to learn that from experience.
You know what is funny? So I dated this guy, ultra successful. I learned so much from him, and I think I became more like Amani in the sense where I sat back and I listened and I watched and I observed and all of these different things. And it's funny because after we had broke up, I went out with one of my friends. We just had dinner, and he's like, "Yo, you don't talk as much." And I was like, "I don't?" He was like, "Yeah, like, what's up?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just listening. I'm genuinely just listening." And I think when the respect factor is just so high, it's literally like, I just want to hear everything that you have to say. Now, I got some nuggets. I got some value to bring. Don't ever get it twisted. However, I'm more interested in learning. I'm more interested in like, ooh, how can I make this better? Because the superpower of a woman is to have a bird's eye view. You might have an idea, but men don't pay attention to detail like a woman does. Men don't see the total picture like a woman does. Yeah. So now not only am I gonna bring you value by having a conversation for you to bounce ideas off of, but let me insert a seed to make your idea better and then celebrate you when you bring it out like it was your own.
Oh, you're not going to just say I told you so and take credit for it?
Never. Why? I'm not battling with an ego. I just want him to have the idea. A win is a win.
Inception.
Truly.
That really is Inception.
It is. That's a good woman.
Good job, baby. That was all yours. Great idea.
Talk.
That's fact.
I'm just saying.
Sarah's trying to earn her spot for a little,
First of all, your drinks are a
recurring
little low here.
guest
We got
spot
to refill?
right here. Yeah,
Let's refill it.
Let's refill these glasses real quick. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Clarity Speaks because this thing, Clarity actually came in with some hotness. Look at that toast. Get that toast on camera, Lano. She says the things they are describing have nothing to do with character. You can be a great conversationalist and intellectual, but not a good partner. So Clarity, this is just for you. We're going to go ahead and go into the third thing, the number 3 on women's top emotional needs, which is honesty and openness. And before we talk about this, I kind of want to give you a little idea of what the author actually intended by the honesty and openness here. All right, he says he tells her everything himself, leaving nothing out that might later surprise her. He describes his positive and negative feelings, events of his past, his daily schedule. Ooh, that's tricky. And his plans for the future. That's a good one. His plans for the future. He never leaves her with a false impression and is truthful about his thoughts, feelings, intentions, and behavior. That sounds like a good dude.
That's a good man right there.
That sounds like
Why
a
you
good dude.
why you gotta tell her the whole schedule though? What's up with that?
First off, they know the schedule. Y'all know the schedule anyway.
Period.
That's the problem.
What?
That's the problem. Y'all know the schedule already. That's why, guys, listen. This quick game. I'd like to drop in this little game to the guys. Guys, your woman knows your schedule. This is a fact. She has it all inscribed in her brain, right? Now, this thing, what you got to do, because women just don't like boring dudes. They like to be excited. They like a little spontaneity. So what you got to do is you got to just throw your woman off. So just wake up at a different time, throw on like a sexy ass suit or player ass outfit, throw on some cologne. She go like, baby, where you going? Oh, but I'm just going to work. Baby, I'm just going to the gym. You just look sexy going anywhere. Because the thing is, what you want to do is inspire her and re-engage her interest. So that's the thing. Now I know what y'all saying.
Toxic.
But y'all gonna like, no, that's not toxic. That's smart. That's smart because what's gonna happen is she's saying that's toxic, and as soon as you start doing the same thing every day, she's gonna leave you. She's gonna leave you. Yep. So you got to mix it up. That's just game for the fellas. Ladies, do not be mad at me, but I'm just trying to help y'all man turn y'all on. I'm just being real.
You do that, you gonna come home and that ass gonna be out. It's gonna be out.
She gonna be confused. Like, why does he smell so good? Why does he dress so good? What's happening? Just game.
So that one, this is honesty and openness.
Honesty and openness. So ladies, just what are your general thoughts? I mean, now that you hear the honesty and openness, does that move up a little bit on your list, or is it still, you think, probably around that middle to lower end, the honesty and openness part?
Do you want to go first? You go first. Absolutely high on the list for me personally. I can't speak to the surveyed women that we don't know their ethnicity.
Hold on, wait. Let's pause here before we get into it.
Yeah.
Because I must know. Why do you say ethnicity matters so much as it relates to the needs of women?
Culturally, we are so different. And it's strange because I'm Canadian, right? And I grew up, I was the only black girl in every grade that I've ever had. And culturally, my family was very different from other families, right? Culturally, the way that a black woman shows up for her partner is very different, statistically speaking, or generally speaking, in a blanket statement. I don't love blanket statements, but I'm gonna make it. Is very different from how a non-black woman would show up inside of a relationship. I would say similarly is probably like Hispanic culture. They're very similar, but if we're talking about white women, or we're talking about, there are just very strong differences that I've observed from how I grew up and how I was raised, and the difference between those families and my family. So for me, it is a big difference. And then also, I think coming to America, I think a bit of those differences have also been ingrained into me because inside of dating, people often say, "You're so different." Oh, you're so different. I can tell you're not from here. Where are you from? You know, so I don't know what that means because I don't have necessarily the reference point of growing up in America. I don't know. But I know that I hear that all of the time. And sometimes people hate that about me. People are like, oh, we don't like how you talk. You're too scripted. You're too positive. You're this, you're okay. I don't know what to tell you. This is who I am. Love it or hate it. I'm not changing for you. You know, like what I've been doing works for me. So there's that.
Okay. So I get that.
Yeah, but it's different.
I get that. Okay, so now back to the honesty and openness, because I get your context on there being cultural differences, so the needs of certain women being different. Now, honesty and openness, why is that so important to you in particular? Oh
my goodness, I don't like surprises. I don't like surprises at all. I would rather look. I feel like I'm very aware that I'm a little bit touched, right? I'm a little bit different. I would rather my man come to me and say, babe, I want to try something different. I love you, I value you, I cherish you, but sexually I want to do something different. I would rather my man come to me and have that conversation and give me the power to choose than to find out I got cheated on, because that to me displays weak. That to me displays lack of boundary. That to me displays lack of self-discipline. That to me displays disrespect. And I don't trust that person. I can't follow that person. I'm not interested in that person. And so for me, I want you to be able, and I always say, I believe in the Mount Everest relationship. Now, Mount Everest, there's conditioning required, right? There's a book called The Sacred Search. It's a spiritual relationship book. Not the point. Relationships are relationships. But the author has climbed Mount Everest twice. And he says, if a 300-pound man came to him and said, that unhealthy, out of shape man, because there are some 300 very in shape men, but
right.
Unhealthy, out of shape man came to him and said, I want to climb Mount Everest. I'm going to get all the equipment that I need. I'm going to be your cheerleader. I'm going to be packed. I'm ready. Let's go. The author says, I would respectfully decline, because not only is that man going to die on the way up the mountain, but he's going to kill you off along the way. And so what a lot of us are doing in these relationships that are not equally yoked is we're putting 300-pound energy onto our backs and trying to make it up the mountain of Mount Everest, which is like success or a happy relationship, a fulfilled relationship, a peaceful relationship. And so there's a level of conditioning that has to happen first. So for me, there's nothing wrong with a walk in the park relationship, right? But someone that shows up like they're ready to climb Mount Everest, that goes for a walk around the park in New York in the middle of summer, will asphyxiate and die. And the same with the vice versa. The person that's ready for a walk in the park that tries to climb Mount Everest will freeze to death and die. So I think that for me, I desire Mount Everest in my relationship. I want my man to feel safe and know that we can have hard conversations and know that I have a warrior's heart. Don't play with me with this child's play over here. You don't have to child's play me because I'm not a child. So for me, that was a long answer, but I really value honesty.
I don't know if y'all can hear that emotion in Sarah's voice, but that was from the heart right there. Listen, if you like the game that's being dropped right now, I want y'all to drop a yes in the chat. Another thing I want to do is shout out to Yelenis Cepeda. Now, Miss Cepeda, I was already about to call you out because you're very active in the comments. So you already took action before I called you out, but we love you and we appreciate you. And listen, again, if these ladies are dropping some serious game right now, for my fellas and my ladies, drop a yes in the comments. Drop a yes in the chat right now.
What I know is to have a truly open and transparent relationship truly takes work.
Oh, yeah.
It takes work. It takes a connection. It takes bond, like a really deep bond, for you guys to encourage each other to really have those tough conversations and create that space of vulnerability, of honesty, all those things, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you think you do to create that space in your relationship?
Do you want to answer me?
What do you do to create a safe space?
Yes, what exactly?
Well, let's think about it. Just not judging him, allowing him to speak freely and not interjecting too soon. I think if he feels, like you said, safe to be vulnerable, then he can be transparent and you can have openness and honesty within your relationship. But I think a lot of times women don't create, they kind of attack, and it makes the man feel like, oh, well, maybe I'll just lie. Maybe I just won't, I think you need to create the safe space by just listening and not talking too soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it should be vice versa. Like, I think a lot of times people create these situations in their relationship where they don't feel comfortable enough to be themselves. And they feel like, oh, well, maybe I'll just put on a facade or, play games. And that's what we see everyone do. And that's what my goal is in my relationship, to create that safe space, like to create that comfortability just by being and listening.
That's a good point.
Let me tell you, I really do believe, like, when I hear my friends, men and women that I know, tell me about their relationships, I truly believe that most people have not achieved depth in their relationship. Agreed. And I mean real depth. Like, where they really got vulnerable and they really showed a different side of themselves in relationships. And I don't think it's just something that just casually comes. Like, I don't think all of a sudden somebody just comes out and just says, babe, I have been considering another woman. You know what? Yeah. You know what? I have. Like, that space for a man to feel that comfortable to tell you his deepest urges, his desires in a way where he feels like you won't fall out of trust with him or change the dynamic of the relationship, or like it caused this pretty much this earthquake in the relationship, is so intentional. And I have recently, in my recent relationships, I've been a lot more intentional with achieving depth. Because it is like, it really is like going an extra mile. Like when you run and you think you ain't got nothing left in you.
Right.
But you just kind of push through and you're like, damn, it was a whole nother mile in there. That really is what it's like in conversation as well with your partner. Like, really just throwing out there and asking something. Have you, like, is it even places or questions that you just have not asked?
Friends first.
Yeah.
Like, if you're friends with someone, you don't feel judged. Like, I can just ask you a question. What do you think about such and such?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what a lot of people are missing in relationships.
Yeah.
Is the friendship aspect.
And I think people are so desperate for a relationship that they're willing to lose themselves inside of it. And what I mean by that is, if you are staying in that, for me, that's one of the most attractive things to me. A man that knows who he is and is certain inside of who he is, I'm like, oh, I will follow you until the ends of the world. As long as we're going to the same place, right? Your vision and my vision are the same. But I think the thing about it is, people are so afraid to hurt feelings. They're so afraid to upset someone. They're so afraid to whatever, that they don't stay true to who they are. I think self-awareness is really the initial key, because a lot of men and ladies, okay, two things. Number one, stop asking men to buy you things, okay? A masculine man wants to solve a problem. I'm literally giving a bar right now, okay? We both date top 1% men. I've been engaged. I don't even want to talk about it. Anyway.
She about to drop the stats.
Anyway.
Drop the stats on him.
What's going on?
I saw another clip where the homegirl called me out. And I'm like, damn. But I will say, a masculine man, and let me not even say man, masculine energy wants to solve a problem. And if you are inside of your feminine and you establish that there is a need, if he loves you, he wants to solve the problem. If he doesn't yet, he's not ready to solve the problem. So asking a man to do something for you is really just going to put him into a situation that both of y'all don't really want. Now the vision of each other has changed.
Yo,
right?
Sarah, listen. That is game. Because this is the thing. If you tell me that you having this problem and I don't offer any solution, I'm really not that interested.
Period.
I really don't have that level of care for you.
Period.
In fact, you asking me is probably out of bounds for what the current situation that we got set up.
My God.
So ladies, if you have to ask and pester a man that is not your man,
Right.
Don't do it.
that's
Don't do
really
it.
good game.
Honestly, no, sir. Because even when I think about
That's
the
too
women,
good, gang.
I'm gonna be honest. When I have dated women that I'm not very interested in, right, or like I'm in it for my own personal gain, for whatever that might be. Literally, when problems come up, it's like you like turning the knee. It was like the Matrix.
Right.
Like you just trying.
Get out of there. You trying to get out of there.
Like you're not even about to. You about to pivot on the
No.
problem so quick?
It's like, and that's not like you even think like that's not even why I'm with you right now.
No.
I'm not with you to hear your. That's not the arrangement we got going on
That's
right
not
now.
it.
But so you got to look out for that, and because things happen in your personal life, things is going on. But I think that's a real indicator for a woman to really understand that a man will act if he wants to solve his woman's problem.
Yeah.
Without no question.
Well, that's a whole other podcast for a whole nother day, so I ain't even gonna go down there. But
Another episode.
Another episode, if you'll have us back. But I will say that. I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? Relationships.
We were talking about a man not solving a problem, a masculine man solving a problem,
that.
honesty, openness.
Honesty and openness.
Yes.
It creates so much respect when you know who you are. Like if a man is like, this is who I am and this is what I want, and you get to choose, that also is creating that safety, right? And that's another thing. That was the number 2 thing. Ladies, stop lying to these men. If you are not ready to hear the truth, don't tell them that you're ready for it. Don't chastise, judge, and condemn that man for telling you the very thing that you said it was okay for him to tell you. Because realistically, you're making it harder. And most women do this, right? I feel like that's why a lot of men are scared to be honest, because they've had so many experiences with their like, well, my lady said I could tell her, and then boom, chastised, condemned, judged, wronged. And so
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
But hold on, wait. I don't want you to skip over that, because I feel like if you ask any woman, matter of fact, it's going to be 100%. I ask 100 women, do you want your man to tell you the uncomfortable truth? Yes.
Everybody
so
volunteer for that.
everybody's going to say that. How do I recognize as a woman if I'm ready to hear the uncomfortable truth from my man?
Start asking uncomfortable questions. Before you get to the big whopping questions, start asking the little questions and see his response. See how he moves. See his body language. See how he feels. See whether he deads the conversation or whether he's willing to go down that path. Because then you learn that inside of, because this is the thing. Women want reassurance. Everyone, not even women. We want reassurance at the end of the day. We want to feel safe in our relationships at the end of the day. Every single person craves connection, but we want to feel safe inside of that connection. So if I can't tell you the truth, I really can't be all of me. If I can't be all of me, how can I really be happy? And if I can't be happy, what else is there, right? So if you are putting yourself in a position to be with a person by asking the uncomfortable questions from the jump, I'll tell you one thing that I ask men that I'm dating in the beginning, and I make it really clear. Like,
I want to hear this.
I want to know, have you ever been with another man?
Oh,
I want to know. And this is the thing. Whether your answer is yes or no, we'll deal with whatever the answer is. I want to know, are you comfortable having that level of conversation?
Oh, you going deep.
I go for the jug. I'm not playing.
He
This
might
is
have
not
just
child's
went
play.
deep.
All right, somebody went deep in here.
Damn, Sarah.
I want to
Hold
know.
on, wait.
This one, come close to the mic, sir. Come close to the
No
mic.
one's ever said, huh?
No, just make sure you stand on the mic.
Yeah, stay close to the mic. But has any man ever told
No,
you?
no one's ever said. Well,
Oh, shit.
no, it was a bad, like a, I don't want to say it.
Come on.
It
What
was,
was
they
his
never,
name?
they never mindfully. There was a person I was with that was molested, which is different.
That's different.
Yeah, very
That's different.
But outside of that, no.
Okay.
It is Atlanta, but real quick, listen, Peaches, you need to join the YouTube membership. I'm gonna drop the link just for you, but I'm only going to highlight you real quick, Peach, because this is hilarious. Peaches says, "Listen, I took off my wig with my man. Now that's vulnerable."
Yeah.
I would agree. Girl, you take that wig off with me, we go
the
together.
jailhouse-
No, we better go
We
together.
go together for
And then
real.
we be
together.
hanging off doorknobs and shit. Like, what the hell? Why is the wig right there?
Understand.
Yo, so that is, so you really, that's like early, like first date kind of?
No, not first date. But if I decide like, I think I'm ready to open up to you a little bit,
Now, if he says yes,
I want to know. I got more
is
questions.
that a deal breaker for you?
I got more questions. How did it happen? How long ago was it? What, like, I have questions. I
So
can't
you
say
you can't date a man who's attracted to other men.
now, currently, no, I cannot.
Now,
Because-
I would consider that a complete. First off, if a woman asks me that, I'm not even addressing that. I'm like, yo, if that's what you think, then you out with the wrong person.
But that's not true because
No,
there's
no,
a
no.
lot of men where things happen in the past.
No, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but a man's man is not going to cooperate with that question for sure. Like that's,
I disagree.
I mean, this is the thing. No, I'm not saying that you shouldn't ask that.
I ask.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't ask that, ladies, because that's what y'all want to do. But the thing is, and I don't think a man should be offended by that question.
I don't either.
But what I'm saying is, a real man is not going to entertain that question. Because they should know you know better than to step out on a date with them if you have actual suspicions of them being homosexual.
That's not homosexual.
Oh.
Wait.
Yeah,
Hold on, wait.
I'm about to get eaten alive, y'all. I'm ready for the
So
comments.
let's not get into
What is it? Octosexual? What the fuck is it then? Goddamn it.
No, what I'm saying is
Heterosexual.
no. What I'm saying is because look, I have had relationships with like men's men, you know, and obviously the answer to the questions were no, and it's not a first date question. Obviously, you got to know and feel safe with this person because. Otherwise, they're not gonna tell you the truth. What they saying? They think
They're
I'm
going
crazy.
crazy in the chat right now. They are going crazy. Shout out to the chat. Y'all are live right now. No, seriously, you bringing on
Just so
some...
you know, record breaking 280 people in the chat right now. It's going down.
Yo, this is a record for us.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
So Sarah, we got a couple episodes already got planned out for you. We're gonna bring you on. We're gonna bring
And I'm gonna
you
get the
in.
thumbnail. Octosexual.
But listen, Imani, I want you to show the mic some love because I got a question because there's some accusations going on in here. They like these beautiful ladies. They probably gold diggers. I don't know what's going on. So
Because he only dates top 1%. Top 1%, man.
they said 1%. So I mean, it's the message that's putting out there is that women are only concerned about the bag. So how important is
And
financial?
by the way, this is the 4th emotional need for women by a doctor and a psychologist.
Which
he says the bag is an emotional need
Yeah.
for a woman.
so
Let's talk
what
about
are
it.
your thoughts about that?
What was the question again?
Would you? So we already know that you agree that financial security is important.
Yes.
But tell it like what is your definition of financial security?
Well, I feel like a man should be able to penetrate the world, and then he can penetrate me. But if he can't dominate something in this world and acquire wealth in this world, it's not even about how much he has. It's about the fact that he was able to create something from nothing, take an idea and build something off of that. Like, that's what I respect. And it is important because it's like I'm out here hustling, I'm building a business, an empire on my own. I want a man that I can share ideas with. We can talk, we can communicate, we can talk about business. I love business acumen in a man. Like to see that he's able to do that, that's what I admire.
Now here's the thing:
That was a great
like
response.
that second glass of wine is kicking in. So,
Powered up.
so I already know I'm about to put a third one in just a few. But I want to ask this because it's not just any level of business acumen you're attracted to. From what it sounds like, you ladies want the top tier, okay, the top of the top earners, right? So if he just making, I don't even know if him, making 6 figures as a sales guy is enough. Like that's like put the camera on. We gotta catch that reaction. You gotta be quick on that switch, Lano. Because we gotta get Sarah's face. I said 6 figures and she bought up like, 6 figures. He's poor. Oh my God, he's poor. Oh my God.
Oh my God, stop
We're
it.
driving Nissan Maximus. So this is the thing. Obviously, you are not even attracted to the middle class, upper middle class. It's this level of a bag that really, is what you're drawn to. Why is that? Why is the top 1% men just seem to be what you guys are not settling anything less for?
I don't think I attract much else than that. Like that's just what
You would no. Let me tell you, a middle class dude is attracted to you.
they're attracted to me, but will they approach me? Do they have the confidence to actually step to me? Like that's the question. Like
So broke dudes typically, in your experience, don't really have the bravado to come up to you.
maybe it's my reaction. I don't know. And I hate to make it sound like that, but like
You can't tell me no confident, broke middle class brothers out here
and I'm
approaching
cordial, I'm polite, like, but what more can we discuss? Like if you can't help me grow what I'm already building on my own, if you don't have any input for that, then I don't need to continue the conversation.
See, those are two different things now. Now, is it A, this brother is not approaching you, or B, this brother's not qualified to build with you? Because those are two different things. Because you can't tell me that brothers who are not in the top 1% ain't walking up to you and talking to you. I just can't.
Well, they may be
that.
catcalling, but maybe they're not actually walking up to you and trying to initiate a conversation. That could be possible.
I mean, DMing, whatever the approach is, I'm sure they're making some kind of effort to get to you. But it more so is that you feel like those kind of men are not qualified to actually help you grow what you have.
Because I want my equal. I want to be equally yoked. I want my match. Okay, I want somebody that, they recognize in me what I recognize in them. And I'm not equally yoked with somebody who's broke.
So
wow,
that's a bar, equally yoked with somebody who's broke.
We got a question coming in from the YouTube membership.
That is a bar.
Somebody asked his name. Looks like his name is Ryan Ketchens. He asked, "Can you cook and clean the money?"
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
No,
Ryan.
she doesn't cook. She doesn't clean, and she's still gonna get this ring, supposedly. So wait. Money. Is money connected to being equally yoked? I never considered equally yoked having anything to do with finances. Do you ladies think that finances has to do with being equally yoked?
It's a mindset. It's a mentality. It's just like somebody like me is just not comfortable living that certain lifestyle. Like I'm always going to be striving for more and acquiring more. And that's the type of partner that I want as well, because I'm like that.
It's like that. Look, Janelle came in with a question. She said, Sarah, if you're okay when answering this, have you ever had a relationship with a man that... Janelle, stop. Stop. We're not... Stop.
Have you ever had a relationship with a man?
Drop, stop. Tell Janelle to stop. This is not the conversation, Janelle. We're going to have that that's a whole nother conversation. I got to move on to the next one. Right. You tricked me with that one. So, Sarah, what you got?
For finances?
Yes.
Just in general, finances.
Pull that mic nice and closely for this one.
I think we live in a culture that prioritizes monetary success in place of character. Now, I'm not okay with that, but I do agree with you, Amani, in the sense where broke is a mindset, right? And so for me personally, the life that I'm living, the life that I've created, the life that I've built, I personally think it's selfish to be broke. And the reason why I say that, I know y'all gonna eat me alive and I'm okay with it because that's my truth. I think that how do you expect to do for others if you can't even do for yourself? I'm thinking about how literally last week I got a $2,000 plane ticket to fly back home to Canada. I was in Canada for a week to be with my parents because my dad just had a surgery. Then my mom was hospitalized while I'm there. Now I'm looking at in-house nurses. I'm looking at in-house chefs. I already got them cleaners. Their house I'm literally like, it's not a question for me. There are certain things I don't want to be in question. And if I have to figure out, and I've done it all. I used to be the girl that was calling my mom every month saying, can you help me pay my rent? I used to be the girl that was digging in my couch so I could put $3 on pump 5, and not because I was in a rush, but because that was all that I had. So if I can build what I built, then there's no reason why my partner can't build what they build. So for me, finance is a representation of what you want to do for others. And I know for me, I want to give back in a major way. Like I want schools, I want apartment complexes, I want programs, I want so many different things that actually impact people. Another fun thing that I love to do, every new school year, I go behind several big families and ask if I could buy their school supplies. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, it's the same thing. Can I buy your groceries? I like to tip $100 on an $11 meal. I enjoy blessing people. So for me, I want my husband to have a heart for people, and I want my husband to have a heart for contribution, and I want my husband to want to do that. And so that is not a broke lifestyle, and I think broke is relative to whatever people are speaking to. But that mindset is contagious, and I don't want it.
See, I actually don't think there's anything wrong with a woman that wants a man that makes quite a bit of money. Yeah. And I understand. That's why I just advise men to get you a woman that your resources can afford.
Yeah.
And women, they come a spectrum from far left to far right, and all of them are going to have a different desires and understandings of money, and they're going to have a different reality and perspective on how they want to live and how they want to position themselves in the future. So you just got to make sure that what you got going on is going to be enough to satisfy that woman. Because if you operate on a beer budget and you dealing with a lady like Sarah, who's got some champagne taste, it's not gonna work out. So you just want to make sure that those two things are congruent for sure.
And
I'm gonna be honest. I have never. I'm just really impressed, Sarah. I must say, because I've never heard just the whole statement or thought, "I won't date a broke nigga," sound so righteous until
It sounds good, though. It sounds good.
from you. It just sounded like God's work when it came from you.
But you know what? The money doesn't mean all the things too. Like one of my exes is legitimately a billionaire, like legitimately. And it doesn't change. Like, okay, the cars you drive is different. The place you live in is different. The clothes you wear are different. But if all of that is taken away, are you still the same person? That's what matters. So it's like money is a gateway to entry, but what is your character on top of that?
Do you believe, because based on your experience with these guys, have they had the guys with these levels of success? Have they had good character?
I've only dated one man that didn't have good character, and I can't even say he didn't have good character. He had excruciatingly weak boundaries, and I tried dating something outside of what was normal for me, and I never do that. But I was like, oh, let's try something different. Terrible mistake. But yes, they've had incredible character. They just weren't in alignment, and so it was more of, even like most of my exes, I'm cool. Like if I see you, I'm not going to cross the street. I could say hello. Like it's no bad blood. I respect you. I still respect you. I just can't be with you because we're not going to the same place. Like if I get into your car, I want to go to New York and you want to go to Chicago, we have a problem, you know? So, or you want to go to Hawaii, we got a problem because we only have a car and you need a plane and all these things. Like what is the vision for life? So, yes, I attract men with good character, period.
So can I
What
be
they talk
can I
about?
be petty?
Come on, let's
Can we quantify this? What's the minimum annual this guy has to make here?
go ahead, Amani.
The poll is going crazy. Yeah, what is the? Well, I'll tell you in a second. What is the minimum?
That's not something I've necessarily thought about.
Let me pull out my phone. I got my account pulled up.
Since you don't thought about
I haven't thought about
This is
that.
what we're gonna see. We're gonna see if I qualify to date either Imani or Sarah right now. So, Imani, how much?
I like entrepreneurs, high level entrepreneurs.
Oh, come on now.
okay.
Come on. We need quantification. Multi-million. So 2 million.
Guys, I'm looking at my bank account.
His business did $2 million
Based on what
in
Imani
revenue
says,
that
we
year.
need lots of
He's
members
good.
right now. We need all y'all to listen, join the membership right now to make sure both Ryan and Tyshawn can qualify to date these two young ladies. Because if not, we just won't qualify.
Right, we just won't. That's unacceptable, guys. So, 2 million annual.
That's what you said.
We put them on the spot. They shy. They acting shy
I
now.
love it.
They acting
We
shy
gotta
now.
get that. We gotta get that third glass pop before we get that answer. Sarah,
No,
come
they
on.
are single ladies. They are
Come
single
on now,
ladies and
Sarah.
looking.
Don't be look.
Okay,
You
this
gotta
is-
do God's work.
Okay, let me qualify first and foremost. I think that there is a big difference between potential in action and potential in theory. And I think that a lot of women get latched onto the potential in theory, the man that's talking about the big dreams and the big goals and the big this and the with no action. Now, if a man is on his way, and I feel like honestly, I attract what I attract, so can't really relate. I don't know the answer.
You don't really attract guys on their way. Like they already kind of there. They at the top of Mount Everest. Like
Kinda.
they just kind of sitting.
No,
down,
they're not
chilling.
on the top, but they've done a lot of the climb. And this is the thing: if you get a me, I'm an incubator. I will exponentially grow whatever I'm given. We are women. That's what we do. So it's not even like it's not a money thing, but it is a money thing too.
This thing, I get what y'all are saying, and and it's people getting on me and Tyshawn. They like Tyshawn and Ryan not really saying how they feel about this. So I actually dropped a poll, guys, and hopefully Sarah's not offended by this. But the
I would
poll
never.
is Sarah giving off masculine energy?
Oh.
So right now we got 59 votes. Let's try, and it's official. We got over 300 people. This is a record.
This
so
is a
you ladies
record.
are
You ladies
killing
are bringing it in
Y'all
right
are
now.
killing
Look
it.
at that.
So I want y'all to let us know. I want to try to get at least 75 votes on this. So please drop your answer in the poll. Now, this is my honest opinion. I think, Sarah, if you want that kind of man, I think you deserve that kind of man. That's what you want. The thing is, I want to talk about what men want. Because if you want a man to go that hard with financial support, then you got to be going hard with what men want.
Oh, let me give my opinion before you go into that. Because I actually don't think just because you want it, you deserve it. I think those are two different things.
You got to be qualified for it.
I think you can want it and you actually cannot deserve it. I think actually most people don't deserve what they want.
Well, see, this is what I'm saying. To me, it's contingent on if you providing that same energy in terms of what the man wants. So top 5 for what the man wants.
Yeah,
all right?
yeah.
1, sexual fulfillment. I think that's pretty easy. I think 100% of men would agree with that. If not, I question you. Number 2, recreational companionship. I also think this is very accurate. If I like soccer, you like soccer. If I like football, you like football. If I like drinking beer, you like drinking beer, right? And I don't like drinking beer, by the way. I like slim fit, okay? So a third thing, an attractive spouse, so physical attraction.
I thought
Okay.
that was number 1 for men, to be honest.
Yeah. It's something.
What's this thing? Sex probably first. Sex is first. We'll have sex. Not attractive. If you're also attractive, that's a bonus.
No, but it's very important. That's number 3.
Touche.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very important.
Domestic support. That's,
Yes.
I mean, I'm not sure how y'all feel about that. And admiration.
Yes.
Admiration.
So ladies.
Which is also synonymous with respect.
Yes.
Exactly. So I think if that's what Sarah wants, that's what money wants, they just got to go hard at these other things that men want. So what are y'all's general opinions about this top 5 needs of men? Of sexual fulfillment, recreational companionship, physical attraction, domestic support, and admiration. Facts? No?
Facts.
Facts.
Absolutely.
10,000% facts.
Facts.
I also feel like we talked about all 5 of those today
Okay.
and how we do all 5 of those, minus the sexual part, because we don't talk about that on podcasts. And by we, I mean I know I don't, and I never have heard you do that either. So I'm going to say we don't. But outside of that, I feel like we talked about respect. We talked about following a lead. We talked about being a support. We talked about a lot of those different things, you know?
We did. So this is my thing. So I got a question for y'all, because y'all talk about financial support. And guys, we got 80 votes. 80 votes. I'm gonna just leave this poll open. It's going crazy right now. No, she's speaking facts. 43%. 34% at yes. All right. And we got 24% that's undecided. So we're gonna keep having this conversation and see
Listen,
what y'all at.
I want to know if the people clicking yes are men or women. Hey, look, show yourselves, all right? Because the poll is anonymous. If you put yes, I want to see you in the chat. I want to see who it was. Let me know. Just put me in the chat if you said yes. I want to see who's actually gauging that.
Absolutely. And I want y'all to join that YouTube membership. So let's talk about this financial thing, because, I'll just be real here. I'm not speaking in future tense, but both Tyshawn and I are millionaires. Future tense. Remember I said that, right? So this is the thing. I'm thinking once we become, now I have very high standards when it comes to domestic support in general. And of course, my standards are going to increase as my capacity increases, right? So when I think about the ideal woman for me, we talk about domestic support. This is not just a woman that can cook a meal for me and her. This is a woman that can lay out for 20 people. She can cook a meal for 20 people.
A good host.
I'm talking about, because this thing, not all women can do that. Grandmas, you some aunties, some mamas, but not all
Not
women
a goddamn
can.
hot dog and some fries.
Yeah, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking
All
about a meal. So ladies, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Can y'all cook? If we had a party, we had a hardly initiated meet and greet, and we was gonna have 50
Can
people
we just
come.
say, yo, hey Sarah, listen, we need a nice little spread. You know what I'm saying? Because we got the followers. They don't like to eat that cheap, so they want to eat good. Can I count on you to pull it off?
Could you do that? Honestly.
From scratch.
Oh, okay.
Now I will say
Who the hell cooking in Canada?
my mother. Now what I will say is I personally don't eat meat anymore, or fish. You don't either. Imani's a vegan and I'm a selectarian. So
Whatever that means.
I do.
Right.
I don't eat meat. I haven't eaten like 10 years. I haven't eaten like chicken, and then I just stopped eating fish like a year and a half ago. So my palate is different. But I would hope that I kind of am attracting the people. But that being said, I come from a big family, like
Okay.
yeah.
And Money, different question for you.
Yes.
So with Money, I like to entertain people, have a good time. Sometimes things get a little messy. I mean, can I trust you to clean the house and have it absolutely spotless?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, you can.
I don't know.
Now
I
with
don't know.
attitude.
Is that true?
Now with attitude.
Not with attitude. No.
Super true. She's
Okay.
naturally very clean. Like
Okay.
her space stays
I
clean.
couldn't even handle it being messy, so
Yeah.
it has to get done somehow.
Let me ask you this. Let's say you're on a date.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, Money, you're on a date. Sarah, you're on a date. And the gentleman asks you to come over. and he orders takeout, nice little spread. Y'all eat, y'all have a good time, maybe watch a movie. And maybe it's still kind of in the early phases, so no sleepovers yet, right? And now it's about that time winding down. Everything is still out. Y'all just had a good time. Everything is still out, and it's time for you to go. What are you doing when it's time for you to go?
I'm getting up. I'm taking all the plates and cups and everything. I'm clearing the table, putting it all in the trash or wherever it needs to go, saying goodnight.
She's a winner.
Damn, I'm about to start flirting.
This is the thing, and I think you have to show these levels of the ability to have domestic support in the dating phase. I hear a lot of women say no wifely duties and all that stuff. That's how you don't get invited back over. Because this is the thing, when I have a woman over, especially when I show a woman a great time, especially when she knows and I know I show her a great time, I'm not saying that she got to clean up the whole crib, but at least act like that is your intention to clean up the whole crib.
I'm gonna be honest. Just how you say you have tests. Listen, I got tests for women all day long, the exact same way. That's a very good one. If you go about, I want to know after you do something, are you gonna leave some dishes in my sink?
Ooh.
After you get up out my bed, are you gonna make that bed, or you just gonna walk up out of it and leave that house? It's certain things that you really gotta make sure, fellas, that you watching, because best believe, I mean, if she's not doing that now on that small level, because I mean, bro, making the bed literally takes a good 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
So I mean, what about?
First off, you staying, that's mandatory. That is, if you stayed over my spot, and I'm always gonna wake up. That's one thing I always gotta do. I mean, even if my lady wakes up early, I gotta beat her up. I guess I have to. I'm gonna be up first. When you get out that bed, it's absolutely mandatory you make that bed up.
Yeah.
It's a given.
Oh, all right. Well, I can't argue. I can't. I don't know.
But you know what, though? I will say, just for me, if I went to my man's house, you know, we would dishes, all of that stuff. But I feel like if we're dating and my man's house was messy, I'm personally not going to clean the house. I'm going to get my cleaner to go to his house and clean his house up. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's a boss.
You know what? She deserves the top 1%, man.
I'm just saying, you know, if the lawn, there's just certain things that
It's too much for just you.
Because
then
I also feel like, and this is the thing too, because really and truly, a man wants to feel needed, in my opinion.
He
Y'all can tell
does.
me
No,
what you
that's a
think.
fact.
He does.
A man wants to feel needed, and ladies, there are so many different ways that you can show your man that you need him that is not necessarily just cooking and cleaning. And I think that when you start outsourcing things like cooking and cleaning, and not always, because sometimes it is really nice to have a home cooked meal. Sometimes it is really nice to have something from scratch. Sometimes it is really nice when you come home from the gym and your smoothie is waiting right there. Sometimes it is really nice when you wake up and you got breakfast. Sometimes it is really nice when I was going out with the girls, but the meal is inside of the microwave or inside of the oven, or like those things are nice. However, I feel as though a lot of women take on more than they can handle by doing frivolous activities that they could easily outsource. Like laundry, cooking, cleaning, a lot of those things you don't really have to do, and your man won't feel less needed as long as you're taking the time to attend to him and his needs.
Well, listen, I don't know.
If cooking is a need,
First
then
off, the
that's
ladies
different.
are going insane about this in the comments.
I don't know if everybody got the bag like that to be, or is that a limiting belief?
It's a limiting belief.
Is that a limiting belief that
broke is a mindset?
So, because that's what I'm speaking for my people in here.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't afford to just pay for a cleaning company or just hire a chef to cook for my man. I can't afford that. Should they not be feeling that?
Yeah,
way?
you shouldn't feel that. There's nothing that how can you? Can you have one less date night a month? Can you not buy that pair of shoes? Can you get a side hustle and make $150 extra by selling something from Alibaba on freaking Shopify.com? There are so many different ways for you to make $500 extra. And by the way, statistically speaking, an extra $500 a month could save most marriages. There's so many different ways that you could make an extra $500, and I think people are lazy. And if I'm talking to you and that hurts, I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry, because the truth of the matter is our life is a representation of our standards and what we actually believe that we deserve. And when we start taking responsibility for the fact that I'm sure they're going off, and I'm sorry, I love y'all.
I'm just cracking up because we got some monsters in the chat. No, they going in on everybody. They going in on you. They going in on me and Todd. Listen, first off, I do know how to change oil. And I also do know how to change a spare tire. Now, first off, my producer just called me Cap. No, that's not Cap. That's very serious. That's very serious. I do.
Changing the spare tire. I mean,
that's light. That's light. But this is the thing. This is what I want to address. I want to address the women who are in the comments saying that cooking and cleaning becomes a wifely duty after 1 or 2 times. I really don't understand that. Like, ladies, do y'all really want a man or not? Like, this is the thing. Women. See, let me tell you what happened. I'll tell you a little story. So my buddy, he wants to move. I'm like, listen, bro, like, you want me to pay for the moving truck? You want me to pay for some moving? She's like, no, I think it'd be cool if we just do it all together. Him and 2 of my other best friends, right? So we all moving. And one of my buddies, he's like, we headed to move his things to his mom's basement. He just bought a house, but it was a couple things he wanted to store in his mom's basement. So he's like, look, I'm gonna just drop these things off. I already got my place furnished. I'm just gonna leave them in the basement for when I might need it. So one of my other buddies, he says, man, you think your mama gonna have something for us? He was like, I mean, I just told her we was about 15 minutes from the house. And that was the end of the conversation. And the thing, I understood what that meant, because my buddy was still confused. Like, no, but did you tell her we need something? No. See, my buddy knows his mom highly feminine. If she knows we're moving and she knows we're 15 minutes from the house, she is whipping some food up. And I promise you, when we got there and we got done moving that couch in that basement, she had food for all 4 of us. Yeah. And I said, you know what? I said, Miss Hay, I love you. I love you. If we missing and my mom need to get me to the house, she says, hey, you know, I got some chicken over here. I'm like, Mom, I miss you so much. I'll be over there in 15 minutes. So this is the thing about the food. You have to understand, like, that domestic support is very much so a part of how we feel loved. Yeah. We looked at the practicality of these things. If you want to get your man, then when you know your man got a best friend, then you're not only going to make sure your man taken care of. Every now and then you're going to invite the friend over too. If you want to get your man's friend's vote, you're going to figure out a way to take care of them too. Now, all of about giving a man this and giving a man that too early, I do understand your reservations. But this is the thing: if you spend all your time dating these men and you uncomfortable to cook for them, then clearly you got the wrong man.
And see, and it's not about giving things too early. It's about knowing how to just give a snack, not the whole meal. Like, you don't have, and when I say that, I mean, I'm going to showcase qualities of a husband prior to marriage. I'm going to do that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to buy your ass a house or go all out, do major husband activities prior to taking on a role. But you're going to see me display these qualities. And ladies, there's nothing wrong with doing these small things here or there to show him that this is in you, right? Like, this is already a part of who you are and your essence. And as we further commit, this shit gets turned up. But it's really hard for me to believe that when a woman says, no, I'm not doing none of this until we get married, all of a sudden I'm supposed to believe a switch is just going to turn on and you're going to turn into goddamn Betty Crocker? Right. Like, that, I mean, is that even a realistic expectation?
I think too, if that's what your wifely duties are, I don't think you bring enough to the table.
Matter of fact, let's do this. That is a good point. What are wifely duties?
For me or generally?
I mean, you. I mean, is there a difference?
Well, I think there's a difference for every person. I think that identifying the roles.
For you.
Okay.
Wifely duties for Sarah.
For my husband, adoration. I think it is exploring new sexual things to keep it funky and fresh, keep it fun, to always date, always have fun, to respect. Like, respect is so big for a man. I think that's like number one. You disrespect a man, you start putting cracks in his armor. Like, I feel like respect is super high up there. I think spoiling him in ways that he needs to be spoiled. And it comes down to, like, who is your partner? Like, is your partner the kind of person that needs a home cooked meal? Maybe that is something that's really important to him because his mom did that for him. One of my exes, his mom used to bake homemade bread every that was a thing. I was making homemade bread every weekend for my man because that was a thing. And it wasn't like, let me prove to you that no, I do that because it oozes out. When you are with masculine energy and you are in your feminine Feminine is flow. Feminine is give. Feminine is love. Feminine is like waves. Like we just want to like pour over you, right? And so I think the best thing that you can do as a wife before you become a wife is taking the time to inspect what does your partner need? Is that in alignment with who you are? And then if it is, you spend a lifetime doing those things and then growing and making it better and more fun and more beautiful. That's what I think. It depends on the person. It's not like.
So did you know how to bake bread before that relationship, or you figured it out?
No, I had to learn.
Yeah.
First of all, but now when I make pie crust, like my apple pies, pecan pies, I am a savage now because
like
of bread.
that.
I didn't know before. Like I did not know. Now I don't have to get the crust from the frozen area. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. My last relationship that I was in, the young lady could not cook. Right? She could not cook, but she knew I loved cooking, home cooked meals. So it was like the cutest thing. You know, she would like literally be like in the kitchen, like this, the whole television would be like on a YouTube channel with like a recipe pulled up.
Oh, wow.
And she'll be in there like pausing it.
Oh.
But I'm gonna be honest.
I had to learn.
It wasn't the same.
It's not. It's
wasn't-
not the same.
I appreciated the whole effort,
Yeah.
but it just wasn't this. You know what? And I'm gonna give you an identical situation. That car breaks down the side of the road.
Yeah.
Your man gets out the car quickly, pops the trunk, pulls the jack out. Then he pulls out his phone and types in on YouTube how to
Weak.
change a spare tire.
No.
Weak.
And he watches the video and does all the directions. Hold on, babe, back it up. Back it up right there.
No.
Okay, what did he say? He said twist the jack. Okay, twist the jack. See, he's doing the duty, but it's just not. It's not doing how it should
Gotta
be
learn your
done.
person. Yeah.
So it was. It's even that kind of dynamic there.
No, it's
that
not.
you want.
It's not the
you
same.
know?
No, it's not
And
the
guys,
same.
listen. What I want y'all to do, because we get into a Q&A section here. My members, any questions y'all want to ask, drop that YouTube membership link right now, Ryan. It's time for y'all to go ahead and join the membership, join the family, because this is not slowing down. The game is great, and I want y'all to ask these wonderful ladies here, or myself or Ryan, any questions as we start flowing.
It's over 320 people in the room right now. This is a record for us. In fact, we have never had this many people vote on the poll. So, Sarah, I got to thank you for that. And now, this is the thing. Out of 106 votes, I'm going to go ahead and end this poll right now. Out of 106 votes, that's a lot of votes. That's a third of the people on. 43% of people said you speaking facts.
Wow.
31% did chime in and say a little masculine energy going on, and 25% of people are undecided. So I think that qualifies this as a really great conversation, because when it came to finances and domestic support, which I think is where we continue to bump heads as men and women, this is probably the most entertaining and heated part of the discussion. So I'm very happy we're having this discussion with these two young ladies right now.
Absolutely. Peaches said, y'all don't want me. Listen, go ahead and get that membership, Peaches. I definitely want them questions from you.
Listen, Peaches is I like Peaches. But
she's spicy.
you're going to have to go ahead and join the membership. We need that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, ladies, I think, first of all, I think y'all really gave some phenomenal perspective tonight. I think both of you guys gave some perspective that won the audience over. Y'all were the victors and the villains all at the exact same time. But that's what happens when you keep it real. People can't always be in a perpetual state of happiness.
Truly.
That's bullshit.
Right.
All right? You got to keep it real. You got to tell it how it is.
True.
Let's see these
And
questions.
I wanna-
We're going to open up for Q&A.
Here's what I want to ask. And I want to see how real y'all can really get.
Oh.
Okay? Now, every time, inevitably, one very important part of this book, every time needs for extended amount of time got neglected, infidelity would pop off. It was just like literally what people did in response to them wanting to fulfill themselves and go where their needs could be met. Almost like your mind switches to this survival mode to find somebody else that's going to do it if you can't. If you're in a marriage and for whatever reason, you start to fall off in this way, your needs start to get neglected, you're not getting what you know you need and what you know you want. Can you see yourself having any level of possibility, an ounce of possibility, with you cheating on your partner?
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You go first.
We asked the tough questions, clearly.
I'm never going to say never, because I don't believe if you give access, anything is possible. But I don't put myself into situations that I'm not going to win in. And I think that there's an old Chinese proverb that says a drop of water dropping on a rock in the same spot over time will split the rock. And so that's how access works. If you continually allow a certain amount of access to you, it'll split you right open. Spread eagle in the bedroom, right? And so for me, I'm not gonna give an opportunity for I believe I'm not a cheater. I don't identify as a cheater. I've never cheated. I also feel like
You've never to this day
Never.
ever cheated on anyone in any
no,
relationship.
if I choose, I choose. Never. And I think I've only been cheated on one time by the person that I never should have dated in the first place. Yeah, which is because I choose. And look, it has nothing to do with me. I'm not above cheating. I'm not so incredible. It's the fact that it's outside of that person's identity. Me, out of respect for my man, I would never let another man come have power over this. Like, you don't get to have leverage over this, right? Never. I'm not going to say never, but I don't allow that access to me. I dead a lot of access. So I say all of that to say that I think it's lazy to say that my needs aren't being met and that's why I cheated. Then the reality of it is you didn't see it you didn't make it a priority enough to start the conversation. You didn't make it serious enough to stop and really address the root of the issue. You didn't, take accountability. You didn't have responsibility. You didn't take ownership for the parts where maybe it's a dual thing. And so I think that it's really lazy to say, well, my needs weren't being met. Well, why not? How did you fight for them? If you didn't fight for them, why do you feel as though you need to step out of integrity with self? Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe that person identifies as a cheater. If they don't, why do you feel like you need to step out of integrity with self in order to go get some need met that I'm sure for a woman, the need wasn't necessarily sex. It's probably some kind of emotional security.
Affection.
Yeah.
Affection.
Some kind of emotional something that leads to sex, right? So if somebody else is giving her what you're not giving her, and also, when did the disconnect happen? When did you stop noticing that your partner needed certain things? Now, I know that there are seasons, but I also think that for me, I don't want to give access to what I think could break me, and so I don't put myself into. Like, I'm not gonna put myself around a man all the time. I'm like, oh, he could get it. Like, nah, that ain't gonna be me.
Well, so this is the thing. Things, because I do understand that, but things happen. I mean, because we all go through these transitions in life. You got career, you got babies, you got relocating, these different things. And the thing is, even if you don't intentionally put yourself around a man, you might be working with a man, right?
I'm not. I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay, well, I mean, you an actress, so you work with men.
That's true.
So you might just generally have conversations in depth. This man just might be a deep dude.
Or you could be on a hardly initiated podcast.
Or you could be in a podcast. And we having some deep conversations, right? You a regular on the show. We seeing each other every week.
Yeah.
Every time I'm checking in on you, see how things are going. We laughing together. We talking together. So these things can really creep up on you. You have to really put in these preventative measures to make sure that your love bank is consistently being filled by your significant other, rather than this person continues to taking deposits out of your love bank. But that's easier said than done, is the thing. So, Imani, I'm gonna ask you a hypothetical question. I just like asking Imani
And by the
hypothetical
way,
questions.
well, we got to put this. I want to know how many women in the poll have cheated on their spouse.
That's gonna hurt
I
my
wanna
heart,
know
'cause I know
that.
y'all some cheaters, ladies.
Ladies,
Some of
listen.
y'all some cheaters.
Ladies,
I know.
it's anonymous because I know y'all would take it to the grave. Y'all are good at it. But listen, if you put yes in the poll, you can still take it to the grave. We do not get any of the data. All right, just keep it real. I'm just asking questions. All right. So for you, actually, let's pop it off. Let's start there. And by the way, look, she just gave a long answer. Let me steal her answer. All right?
No, I went.
All right, you didn't even hear anything she just said just now. I want to know, can you see yourself, assuming you've been neglected, you've been wronged, he's not giving you what you need, all right? You're not getting it at home. He's not doing it.
Okay.
Can you see yourself going somewhere else and getting it?
I think cheating is weak. I'm not cheating on my man.
Period.
I'm not cheating on my man. I don't care what's going on. I don't care what the issue is. I don't want somebody to be able to say, like you were saying, that they had me when I have a whole husband. We're talking about being married. No, it's just not going to happen. We need to figure out how we got here in the first place. I'm going to have that conversation like, my needs aren't being met. How can we rectify? How can we solve this? What can we do? What's a solution? before I even get to that space to even consider, the thought wouldn't even come to my mind. Like, I'm a solutions-based person, so I want to fix it first. I don't want any lingering issues. I don't want anything to come up or make me feel vulnerable. I shouldn't be vulnerable enough to even consider cheating. Like,
Now check this out. I hear a lot of ladies say this after they get cheated on. This is huge because we put a post out about this. And a lot of ladies say, I'm going to get my cheat back. I'm going to get my cheat back.
no.
That's the
cheat
ratchet
back.
ones. The ratchet ones say that.
So, I mean, from the profiles they went out, they probably was ratchet on the inside.
On the
But
inside.
I was shocked that a lot of the women saying that they feel like they can cheat back. Do you feel like that's a viable option if assuming you get cheated on?
I got cheated on, and that didn't even cross my mind. The biggest L you're gonna take is losing me as your partner. Period. I know what I bring to the table, and every ex that I have still reaches out to me to this day.
Period.
Every single one of them. You know, so it's not even, and look, y'all could call me what you want, but I'm just telling the truth. Facts are facts, right? And
I get it.
I think that if like, I'm not coming out of integrity with myself because I don't identify as a cheater. I am the person that'll say, baby, we either got to spice some things up. What we doing? We going to a swingers club? We won't swing. Maybe we just watch, you know? Or what we doing? We going to a swingers club and we gonna swing? What we doing? We gonna get some toys in the bedroom? What we doing? We gonna get one of the things that hang from the wall? What are we doing? We gotta do something because something has to change. Or it could be, baby, can we try being open? Can we talk about what it would be like to set boundaries and parameters around us bringing someone else into the bedroom? That would happen because respect for me, like I don't like surprises. I'm not about to surprise my man. I would never disrespect him in that way. I'm never going to I don't want to say never, but the idea of another man having leverage and power inside of this, I'd rather die. It just sounds terrible to me.
So before I say this real quick, I want everybody to answer this poll because we have 50 votes on the poll. I want to at least get to 100 because inquiring minds want to know, like, ladies, are y'all cheating? Like, just be honest with us. Like, it's okay. Me and Tyshawn won't be hurt. We know how y'all do sometimes. No, but in all seriousness, Sarah, Imani, I want to let you guys know that I genuinely believe that you believe that you wouldn't cheat.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the fact because
we're human.
This is why, exactly. One, you're human. Two, the way women generally operate, when you check out of a relationship, that doesn't necessarily mean the relationship has actually concluded. That doesn't mean it was actually an agreement that the relationship has concluded. You just checked out. And most of the time, men, we think so linear. We're not really considering everything that's going on, while the woman considers everything from A to Z on a consistent basis. So most times, I don't think women really consider it cheating because they themselves, although they may still be staying with the dude, they may still be talking to the dude, they have completely checked out of the relationship, so they don't necessarily qualify that as cheating.
We've heard it all. Like you've talked to women and you've heard
Yeah.
the statements they might say.
But I paid all the bills. But he did this. But we don't really talk like that. And it's like, does this dude know that the relationship is over? And I do understand why a woman would not be as comfortable within a relationship with a man. Because a man, for general, is usually gonna be physically dominant over the woman. Some of the men, for whatever reason, you might be leaving them. They might be a little edgy or a little rough around the edges, so you might not want to have that conversation. And the reality of the situation is, a lot of men are just flat out just overly emotional.
And let's talk about this too, because you mentioned this. You talked about when men are failing your tests, which, by the way, when a woman even gets close to even considering anything like that, a man has been failing and not performing for quite some time now. There's a lack of disrespect that kicks in to this man.
Lack of respect.
No, a lack of, you lose respect for him over time.
Yes.
And I'm going to be honest, when enough respect is lost for a man,
You can care less what you do.
the level of acting out that could happen with a woman, you will be surprised at what will now happen and what she will be open to do. And I'm not saying I'm putting it on you guys 100%, but I have seen the worst of women. Like literally, I literally in my young ratchet days, okay? Because it gets the more ratchet the woman is, the crazier and the antics
the crazy she'll go.
would be. Like literally, I've had women trying to invite me over that live with their men. Literally.
That still happens now.
No,
Actually.
literally. There was a woman I knew who was with a man. She lost so much respect for him. They literally just became roommates. She was literally like, "No, Ty, please, you can come. It doesn't matter if he's here. It doesn't even matter."
Did you go?
Hell no.
No man should ever do that. This thing,
Hell
regardless
no.
of how that woman
I
feels,
tried.
yes, that's very dangerous.
That's
Yeah.
very dangerous.
And to be honest with you, you should not, fellas, you should not even be messing with a woman like that because that
Right.
puts you in the danger zone. Because if the relationship is not have clearly ended and that guy has accepted it, because she could have ended it, but he not accepted it, then that's just gonna put you in a situation where it might be some danger. You know, I mean, we can even talk about, trouble with the situation with him. He's at the lady's house, he's having a good time, you know, and next thing you know, he's no longer living.
Right.
So that can actually happen. So I do understand what you guys are saying, but what I'm saying, ladies, is that anything can happen if you do end up losing that respect for that man. So when those things are not adding up and you not feeling a certain way and you got this other person that's bringing out this emotions out of you, whether it's a coworker, a boss, a colleague, any of those things, you just got to be very cognizant of what's happening. And you have to have some very serious conversations with your man because, like I said, circumstances change all the time. Family, kids, work. So you always got to be on top of that when you're having these life transitions.
What's
for sure.
that poll, by the way? I want to see what that poll hit.
The poll, look, I'm satisfied with the poll, and I don't know. Some of y'all just might be some liars because right now, 66 votes, and it's women only, and 73% of women said no, they have never cheated.
God.
I believe it.
We have the most wholesome. We have the most wholesome chat.
See, the thing
The
is,
most wholesome
I
viewing
agree.
women.
I believe the women who have said no. Some of them may have not ever cheated, but I believe that most of the women who said no, you believe that you didn't cheat.
Well, what is cheating?
Oh,
Good
define
question.
that is wow.
Is a kiss a cheat?
Yes.
Is the sex
flirting?
a cheat?
Yes.
Anything
It's an
that
intimate
you know I would be
conversation that
uncomfortable
stimulates
with.
your mind regularly.
Oh, regularly.
Is that a cheat?
No, but that's dangerous.
It is
That's
That's
dangerous.
how it turns into a cheat.
If you're not depositing enough
Followed by a
love.
deep hug.
Let's go around.
That's not a
Let's
cheat.
actually go around and talk about that. And I want y'all to chime in on this. I'm getting ready to close out this poll. Most of the women said they didn't cheat, so we're not even gonna have a conversation about that. I'm gonna take your word for it. But me personally, I think cheating is anything that the woman or man does that they know would genuinely make their partner uncomfortable. I think if that is in your mind, I don't think my woman really like this, or I shouldn't really tell them about this. I think that is probably indication that there's some cheating going on.
Nah, that's a little too much. Because
Okay.
there's certain chicks that just won't even like you liking certain photos, commenting under
No,
no, they will genuinely feel uncomfortable about that, bro. Like genuine uncomfort about you interacting with women online.
I understand a woman doesn't like that, but I don't think a woman is just like losing sleep over that. I'm talking about something
Even
that.
DMing. Watch this, DMing. Like you shoot a chick a DM.
Why would you shoot a chick at DM
No, I'm
if
saying
you're in a
like
relationship?
no, really. Like you flirt with a chick online.
That's not good.
No. But I stepped it up. I turned it up a little bit. Would you consider that cheating?
Yes, that's cheating.
So he says, "Damn, that ass fat."
That's cheating, bro. That's cheating.
Inappropriate. Definitely
That's
inappropriate.
cheating.
That's cheating.
That is
Okay,
cheating.
okay.
I think that's inappropriate. That leads to number one. If you do that with other women and you know that your woman doesn't like that, you don't respect your relationship. That's what I think.
And this is the reality of the situation. We had Judge Lynn Toler on here. She said social media was attached to just about every single divorce case that she looked over.
I believe it.
Over her tenure, especially in the last decade. And social media now is deeply ingrained in our lives.
Yeah.
So that's a real that's a real thing to consider now. Like the what's appropriate and inappropriate in online is now that's probably even some of the biggest and major ways we're meeting. Think about it. These top 1% men ain't walking up to y'all in Kroger. Most of the time, y'all are being approached online. And like and now most women can probably even agree that this might really be happening. So that's those online gets a little tricky on that.
It does.
But I like that. I can't say it's not a bad definition. I just thought it was, I honestly believe cheating, for it to be full out cheating, cheating comes with this intent.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it cheating.
The deceit,
It's an intent.
the betrayal.
And it's a deceit that comes with it. If you have the intent to go about advancing with this person in an intimate way outside of your partner, I think that's what makes it. So yes, you can cheat online. Yes, you can cheat on the phone. Yes, you can cheat. If I'm setting up something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm putting in the game, I'm putting in the time on phone. Yeah, call me on FaceTime.
Yeah.
Yeah, call me here. Girl, damn, you looking good, and this and that. But my intentions are to move into this direction. Absolutely. That's 100% cheating.
It's the lack in boundary for me. Intentions happen because there's no boundary. But if there's a boundary, like if you don't intend on crossing the line, you don't cross the line. If you intend on crossing the line, but the boundary's too high, you still can't cross the line. You got to have boundaries, certainty, clarity. For me personally.
And you said, you never answered this question. Have you ever cheated on anyone in the past?
No. Nope.
She didn't blink on that one. She didn't blink on that one.
No.
She was prepared.
I will walk away before I would ever cheat.
How many relationships have you been in? Just curious.
3.
Oh.
I knew that though.
Very selective.
I am selective. Yeah.
Is it the same situation as Sarah where they all contact you back? They all reach out to you?
Yes, they do.
Guys, never do that, guys. Never, ever do that. This thing.
We just screenshot it and sent it to our girlfriends and laugh.
That's true. She's joking, but that's true.
I'm not joking.
That's the thing. Because, guys, listen, if a woman wants you after your relationship, she's going to come get you, and she's going to speak up for it. Because this is the thing. Women, they different. They different. Regardless if they break up with you, well, this thing, if they break up with you, that might be a different situation. They probably did lose respect for you, or they just really done with you. But if for whatever reason the breakup was mutual, or it's a situation where it didn't work out, or it's a situation where you broke up with her, that woman is always gonna be in that woman's catalog, really for the rest of your life and her life. So she's always going to look at if you've changed, if you've progressed, if you become a better person.
They watching.
And if you actually do it, she's going to reach out to you.
Never.
So if she has not reached out to you, then she does not want you. So it does not make any sense for you to actually reach out to her.
Sarah's saying never. She's jumping out saying never. So if you see your ex getting better as a man, as a human,
I don't
in
go
life,
backwards.
financially, he's prospering.
No.
There's not one that you can see yourself going back to.
No, because we all grow and change and evolve, right? And if that level of evolution didn't work with us, then why would this one? I just feel so strongly like everyone is either, a season, reason, or a lifetime. There's a blessing and a lesson inside of every single person. And so I'm not interested in going backwards for me personally. For what?
Can it not be a forward? Can this person not have evolved or have grown in a way that might now be more aligned with you, might have, fixed his character, in these ways?
Yeah, see, money is easy, character is hard.
Character is hard, but
Very.
people
I agree
can
with that.
change. The thing, I get what you're saying, but I'm certain if one of those men that you had some interest in, if it just didn't work out, not if it was
It wasn't bad. It was literally every relation. I've walked away from all of my relationships, and it's literally been like, I love you, I just can't be with you, and it's been based on alignment. For me, if we aren't going to the same place, I don't need comfort. I like me. I like my inner, my peace. I like myself. I have an incredible female girl circle tribe where we have intimate conversations, and we have, we travel all over the world, and we meet each other, and we do all of these really cool things. And I love my family. Oh my God, I love my family. I love all the kids. We were just in Orlando, 3 weeks ago, freaking doing Universal, Disney, SeaWorld. I love this stuff. Like, I love it. And I'm excited to add someone that's going to add value and not someone that's going to take away. So for me, I feel like, is it possible that someone could change and grow? Absolutely. Anything is possible. But I'm not interested in going backwards, only because who I meet on my journey as I'm going along, and I am dating, let me be clear, but who I meet on my journey is ready for me now. Because they might be judging the Sarah they had when they were with her, and that might be why they say yes. They might not be ready for this level of Sarah, the same way I might not be ready for that level of them. So I'm not interested in going backwards.
Okay.
I can love you from afar.
Interesting. Well, I mean, the guys really can't lose if you improving yourself. That's my thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tarshawn, tell me what you think, because I get women that hit me up from middle school. I mean, it's like the better I get, the more women come back from the past. It's like middle school, high school, college, old relationships. It's like, as long as I don't know how y'all women get the information, because I be looking, I be trying to see, does she be looking at my stuff?
I mean, you online, you know, so it's easy.
They just
to
find
see, especially
it.
for you.
They just find
it's easy.
Right. So they see the YouTube channel memberships going up. And they want me back. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel membership. But yeah, I think, just me personally, but I understand where you coming from.
Yeah.
So I just don't think you just ain't came across the right man. The right man.
Maybe I have now.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe.
We shall see.
Anything's possible.
I wanna hear from you, Imani. You gonna what they call it, spin the block? You gonna spin the block?
Me about an ex?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
It's a hard.
Well, first,
no.
there's only 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I'm not.
Sarah's a bad influence.
Right.
She's a bad influence.
It might have been stealing answers all night.
I was considering going back to an ex. I was.
What were the reasons?
Well, just the way that he spoke to my love language, I guess. Like, he really satisfied my needs, and I've yet to find that again in someone else. And that was the first person that ever truly understood me wholeheartedly and, you know, gave me everything that I needed as a woman.
Good job, guy. Good job.
Yeah, he's balling.
Did we what? Oh.
Good job to
No,
that
go
guy.
ahead.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. So it was a great relationship. However, the reason why I wouldn't spin the block on that relationship is because he had tendencies and traits that were non-negotiable for me, like narcissistic traits, things that we couldn't work those out as much as I tried, you know? So I'm just not gonna be in a situation where, although, say it's like that 80-20 rule, like 80% of the things he had down, it was great, but the 20% it just wouldn't work for me. So no, I'm not going back.
I get it. I get
wouldn't
it.
go back.
Let me know if y'all notice this too, because I have definitely noticed this. I've noticed that as a woman gets up in age and matures, she's much more likely to go back into the pool of men she's comfortable and familiar with versus try to actually go into something to experience something new. I have personally, let me tell you, I've seen that a whole lot. I want to know what you think. No, don't tell about you, Sarah. I know you don't do that.
I am up in age, you know? Like, really and truly, you guys know that. I am up in age.
Now,
Are you gonna tell the audience?
They
Are
are
you gonna tell the
asking.
audience?
Well, I've ignored that the whole entire time, but a lot of people throughout have been asking not only you guys' relationship status, they're single. We talked about that,
Single.
but also your ages as well. Are y'all
Oh,
willing?
I am 30. I will be 35 on Sunday.
Woo!
Yeah.
July 2nd is
Yo,
my birthday.
I want y'all to drop a happy birthday, Sarah, in the chat right now. She is celebrating
Absolutely.
her 35th birthday.
I wonder which guy's gonna get
Let's
that
go.
birthday Sunday spot. You know, we're still
Send
making
a
tricky
DM.
around
Send
birthdays.
a DM, tell her happy birthday. Imani, what about you? How old are you?
I'm 28.
28. Interesting.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I hope that gives y'all some reference for how these ladies are thinking at these particular ages.
Yeah, I mean, I again, that's my experience, because I do feel like you have you just got a unique mindset in general, Sarah. Like, you have this mindset of abundance, and you have this mindset of, you know, wanting more. But listen, I'm in this space. I've been around women my whole life. I know that after a ton of bad experiences that a woman might face, you can now have this pessimism that gets built in. And what happens is, again, even if your prior experience wasn't the best, it's familiar. And you know it's predictable at this point. Whereas that next experience, which now might even be more difficult to get as life gets busier and things get piled on your plate, what now happens is it's like that old guy now is a lot more attractive.
I think that old guy would be settling, and I won't do that. I would rather be alone than to settle with someone I know I'm not aligned with, period. I genuinely like my own company, and I genuinely love what I have going on and the people in my life, and I'm really blessed. Like, and I get emotional just thinking about like people. I'm really blessed to have a very solid circle. So I just can't see that happen. If I'm Auntie Sarah, I have 12 nieces and nephews, and I'm everyone's favorite auntie, you know, and we really kick it. And if that means that my life just looks different than what society tries to press on us, then I'm okay with that. If I end up, but then also, you know, Marjorie Harvey met Steve Harvey when she was 40 years old. I'm not in a rush to do it wrong. I think so many of us are searching for this title. We want marriage and a family, marriage and a family. I've been engaged twice, right? Anyone can give you marriage and a family. Now I'm after peace, happiness, and fulfillment. Now I got to vet the person that is inserted into marriage and a family. So for me, that's why 2 out of 3 marriages end in divorce. I'm not interested in that. I would much rather have a person that can be my best friend, that I can really respect, that I can trust recklessly, that we can shoot it up, that we could talk about all of the things. And I just can't see that being with any of the people that I've been with in the past. And that includes, you know, I've when I walk away, people are like, are you sure? My mom has been like, are you sure? Like, I'm certain. There is no doubt. And the reason why, and I hope that people take this away, is because I know me. I know what I need. And if we don't figure out who that is, then the world will tell us what we need. And maybe that's not what we need at all. And so we're unhappy and we're unfulfilled and we're lacking. And then cheating comes into the picture, and deceit comes in, and betrayal and disrespect and all of these different things. If I can't recklessly trust and respect you, I don't want you as my person. If I can't recklessly trust and respect where you're taking us, because I believe, like you, Ryan, the dynamics of a man leading the family, I'm not going to be in a relationship. So many people just want to be comfortable, or they just want to split the rent, or they want to go half on groceries. I don't need that. I don't need that, and I'm not interested in that. I want it all. And I believe that I can find a man, or a man is going to find me, or maybe already has, that believes in the very same thing. And that's just my belief system. And that's exactly what I'll have. Whatever God has intended for me.
So I can tell the women love that. They love that because it's a, you know, that's a topic, settling and being alone and that type of deal. And then of course there's a lot of stigmas and pressures that come from society and family with having a family. So I get it. I think that's a whole nother episode for me to go in on that. So I'm gonna let you slide on some of those things because I know the ladies love that. They just love that.
Right. If it wasn't 10:30, I would have hopped in.
Yeah,
I would have hopped in on there.
But we going crazy right now because this is the thing. I know the conversation is engaging because we still got over 300 people in the live right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm gonna keep pestering y'all about this because for us to be able to bring the absolute best guests like these 2 young ladies, for us to be able to improve the production, we improving the production. We're gonna have the messages, the members and stuff popping up and stuff coming soon. For us to be able to do that, you gotta support the channel. If you just find value in the channel, if you just appreciate not only these 2 young ladies, but everybody we bring on the channel. If you have ever listened to any episode we have dropped, please subscribe now to the YouTube membership, and we promise we will not let you down. And this is the thing, whether you join or not, is going to grow. We, like I said, this is our 4th live. We already got breaking records, over 20 members, 300 people in the live right now. Imagine when we get to 500, 600, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000. So please support us, join the YouTube membership. And I'm gonna close this poll out real quick. Ladies only, would you get back with an ex if they changed for the better? 60% of people, and I put this direct because it came out of Sarah's
66%.
mouth. I don't go backwards. 66% of the women agree with you, Sarah. So I will not argue with y'all about that tonight.
Shout out to the 34.
We still got a chance, Ty. We still got a chance. No, but this has been a very engaging conversation to say the least. I mean, I really appreciate you, ladies.
No, y'all were absolutely phenomenal. I think we got some really, really great perspective from both of you beautiful ladies. Something tells me that you guys may get invited back to the platform, you know what I'm saying? And you know, the thing about this wonderful set here, the way we changed it up, the crazy thing is we could slap like 2 more mics over here and 2 more mics over here. We can get some men and some women on here. Okay. And we could really also share some really creative perspectives because that was actually the goal. We brought the men on first. We brought the women on next. and now we might have the meeting of the minds, guys.
Yeah, I would actually like to do that. Now the thing is, we had 2 married men on. Now we got 2 single young ladies. I do think we got to bring it back with 2 single men and 2 married young ladies. But you ladies, if y'all open to it, we do want to bring y'all back for part 3, where we'll have the guys and we'll have you all, and we'll just have a big conversation. It'll be fun.
And what y'all
It'll
can
be
do,
fun.
by the way, because I know y'all fell in love, probably fell in some hate. The whole roller coaster with these ladies. Let's drop their Instagrams. Y'all go ahead and follow the beautiful Sarah Fontenot.
About to drop that IG right now.
Yes, as well as Imani Ali. Pleasures, especially to see popping up on your timeline. These are some things you want to see on your timeline, not if you're married fellas, because you might be sending them DMs we talked about last time. All right, you got no business following these ladies if you're married. We just talked about it. But other than that, y'all listen, I appreciate you guys tuning into another episode, man. Ladies, did you want to leave our wonderful audience here? We still got over 285 people in here. Y'all want to leave them with any final words before we close this thing out for the night?
Oh my, you take it away.
No. Imani, it's on you. It's on you, Imani.
Final words.
Just give him something. Just give him some final words.
Final words.
It could be 3 words. It could be 5. It could be 10. It could be 12. Whatever's on your mind.
Just be authentic. Be true to yourself. Be the best version of yourself so you can show up good enough for the person that you feel you deserve.
The top 1%er. Yes.
Top 1%.
And Sarah, close us out, please.
First and foremost, I just want to celebrate and acknowledge you, Ryan and Tyshawn, for what you guys are doing, the impact that you're making, these conversations that you're creating, and allowing people to get more perspectives. But more importantly,
Good answer.
It's not toxic. So thank you for being the people where you can laugh, you can joke, but you're bringing value to the world. So I see you, I acknowledge you, I'm grateful for you, I respect you guys, I love you guys. That's absolutely amazing. And, I'm just honored that we got a chance to share with you guys today, and hope to see you guys the next time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm happy
That's
you
good.
acknowledge
Having
that
us.
because we're not toxic. We're edgy.
Yeah.
But we're not toxic. Ryan describes it as a non-alcoholic drink. That's what you get when you come to.
Facts.
It's a mocktail when you come to Hardly Initiated, but you're going to get exactly what you need every single time.
Last shout
Thank
out real
you,
quick, because I know
guys.
you about to close us out.
Yes.
I just want to shout out to JJ. JJ has been very engaged. JJ, shout out to you for supporting the channel. It's going to be up there for a few seconds. If you're just thinking about it, stop thinking about it. Join the YouTube membership. JJ will appreciate you. We will be at 30, 40, 50 soon. Tyshawn closes out. We rock.
Yes. And guys, listen, make sure at least, if you ain't going to join, at least hit the subscribe button to the channel so you can stay locked in with us. But thank you so much for everybody watching that's tuned in to Hardly Initiated. We are out.